How you doing there, Mr. Jimmy DeTalent?
I'm tired, boss.
Welcome back to the DeTalented Podcast. Super excited for this episode. Before we get started, don't forget, if you could, like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. We want to get this out to as many of you as possible. That's all we're going to say about that. You know, I hate watching YouTube videos when they just beg and beg and beg and beg. So I'm not going to beg. I'm just going to ask once.
Good. Don't beg.
Yeah,
ask
you know,
once.
It's not my thing. Well, man, how's your week been?
It's been good. It's been great.
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
Been really riding that episode with Neil Combs, man. That was such a great discussion that we had with him.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed talking to him and what he brought. I mean, there's a lot of value that he brought. I felt like, man, you know, I've watched it a few times just to kind of rehear some of the things that he said, and it was super good. So, keeping with that kind of format, we've decided to bring some more guests into the studio today. And you know, we were talking and we thought, man, who better to bring in than the people that we talk about the most?
Yeah.
I would say they are our biggest inspirations. At the same time, they are our biggest aggravations. And so with no further ado, we want to introduce you guys to our wives, Laura DeTalent and Sarah DeTalent. Say hi, Miss Ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Woo! Did you see how anticlimactic that was? Let me just tell you, since episode 1, Sarah's been demanding that she come on this podcast
every week.
and now she's on here.
This is why we're here.
I got stuff ready. Just wait.
Yeah, I figured that this was probably going to be, you know, I figured you were coming in like an attack dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, you know, I was going to try to scare you to death when you came in a while ago, but
it didn't work.
Forgot your key.
I'm sorry. I
The
forgot
Lord
that fob.
protected me.
Yeah, he did protect you. So how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
You know what the big question is? And I'll let you both answer
Oh boy.
individually. And this should get us through a couple minutes here. Is what's it like being brought in and having the honor of being DeTalented? What's it like being married to me and Jimmy? I think that's what the viewers want to know.
Yeah, I'm sure they're dying to know.
Goodness.
They're dying to know.
How long can we speak?
You can speak as long as you want. And here's the thing. I don't think it's very challenging, Jimmy. I think we're crown jewels for them.
Oh, I do too. I think it should be, you know, how do you want to start listing it? Alphabetical or in order of importance? What is
I think
it
the
that
Lord
you
has,
say?
I think we are gifts from the Lord to you. So without further ado, let's hear you guys and what you got to say, and I'm going to turn it over to you two.
Laura.
Oh my. I don't know. I know you. I am very blessed. You're a very good husband, but there are very.
Amen. Can somebody say amen in the audience?
There's definitely times where you are very aggravating and you lose control.
Here we go.
Of your anger.
Whoa.
Hold on a minute.
She went
Hold on.
there.
That's a good
Hold
subject.
on a minute.
That's a
You
great-
need to explain that. So explain, I lose my anger if I'm driving and mad. I don't punch on you or lose my anger with you and the kids or nothing like that. You just made me sound like Bigfoot.
You
You can edit that out. You can edit that.
No editing. I'm going to let it roll.
Let it roll.
What's it like being married to Jimmy, Sarah?
I agree with Laura. He is a great man.
Brian or me?
You.
But, oh man, you're hard to love sometimes. I'm going to use a little throwback
Bryce.
to a song,
good.
Mr. Lee
Hard to
Bryce.
love.
That is a good song.
It's a great song.
You're a little hard to love sometimes.
I can see that. I can see
What
that.
do you mean you can see that?
Because we are hard to love sometimes.
Because you know yourselves.
You know what we are? That song says like a wrecking ball. That's kind of what we are, kind of wrecking
There
balls.
can be times.
But, sometimes life requires a wrecking ball,
It does.
you know? Would you rather have spineless jelly men?
No.
That's what I thought.
No.
So explain a little bit. Let's tell them about what you guys do. Sarah, you kind of let them know what you do. And here at the church, you're the youth pastor, and you kind of talk about that a little bit, and other stuff. You can talk about. Here's the thing, ladies, you can talk about anything that you want. I know you were saying a while ago, what do we talk about? Well, here, let me give you some news. Me and Jimmy don't script these shows.
I know that comes as a surprise. I know that you're shocked
You're
by
such a
that.
planner.
Yeah.
We show up and we blow up. That's what we
Okay.
do.
Start talking.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good hashtag. Show up and blow up.
Show up, blow up, baby. What you got?
Okay, so my favorite thing is definitely being a wife and a mom. Those are my two favorite things for sure. And then my youth group, no doubt. 13 years as the youth pastor at TRCC, the Refuge
Wow.
Christian Church. So this hair went white in one night, just after
Yeah.
I walk in.
As soon as you poured the box on it.
Hey, don't tell my beautician that.
Hey,
My stylist.
listen, don't worry. I often I have to be careful with these camera angles now because I don't want to catch my big old balding spot.
Well, that's
It
why
makes me feel vulnerable.
you got to wear a hat. That's why you wear a hat, man.
I do
I
wear
can
a
see
hat. There's been I think one episode I didn't have a hat on, and I seen it shining, and I was like, Lord, what happened to my hair? You still got all your hair, man. You
It's
got a
just-
lot, but it's white.
It's white.
I know. At least mine's still the original color.
I got a few white in my beard too.
Just a
If you
few.
can
Few.
you see?
Just
Can you
a
see it?
few
I know.
whites in
Can you
the
see it
beard.
over there?
Salt
your
and pepper.
I don't ever remember your beard's pretty much been white
For a while.
a long time.
Yeah.
Like
Unlike
22
Sarah's hair.
years.
I think that's been white a couple of weeks. Look, Laura, you got something about Mary hairdo going on up there.
I can't believe you bring that up.
I don't know what was going on with that.
It kept slipping.
Yeah,
so
them
I had to
headphones
move
are.
They're
You're
not
not used to wearing them.
conducive to our
thank you, 'cause
hairstyles.
I would hate to sit there. The whole
Well,
time.
when you're not.
Speaking of hairdressers, we should have had our famous Bojeezy do
Yeah.
our hair and makeup for we
Yeah,
came
That's
here.
right.
That would have been a good idea.
She
put-
like I was
we'll
so
put her
funny
on
because she
next
sees
time.
me leaving to come and do this every week. We do this every week
Uh-huh.
now for 5. This is our 5th
Yeah.
episode, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she sees when I walk out the door and I'm in like tonight I'm in sweats and a t-shirt and a hat, and she's like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "This." And she's in there getting ready for.
I had
This
to have
is
a
like-
shower.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Come on, though. Let's be honest. Men are definitely allowed the bum look a lot more than women.
That's
Women
absolutely
get-
true.
Yeah.
Women
That
get
is true.
judged a lot more if they're
Yeah.
looking like a bum.
It's definitely. I mean, there's definitely a double standard when it comes to that. Yeah, for sure.
It was hot
We're not going to
today.
get judged.
No.
They're going to leave. It's really the truth, man. You think about that, it isn't fair because they're going to look
Yeah.
at dudes and be like, "Oh, they're real. They're just
Just
showing
a
up
bunch of
doing a thing."
goons.
Where women are, if they showed up looking like we do, you look good. If you showed up looking like me, probably be an issue for you. People would probably be talking about you. Your reviews wouldn't be that good, Sarah.
Exactly.
I wonder if this is going to go on your IMDb.
Oh, this better be
It
huge.
should, yeah.
I feel like
Her
I've
pages.
already said we're going to have millions after this. After me and
Millions.
Laura
This is
come
going to be
on.
it. So this is
This
going to be
could
the
be
episode
it.
that breaks the internet.
It is. It's
Oh,
literally like
Leah said I
It
was going
was
to be a
Charlie
YouTube
bit my
thing.
finger,
Yes.
and now this.
Charlie bit my
She
finger.
Charlie bit. You remember
And
that?
then-
Right?
I think
Sarah and Laura
Charlie.
Charlie bit my finger. I think that was the first YouTube video ever, wasn't it?
Oh, I have no
Was it?
idea.
I think it was. Or at least the
Really?
first to
I
break
have
like a big
no-
amount. I think it might have been the first YouTube video ever.
So it might have been probably maybe the first viral video. There you go. Look it up.
Let me look it
Oh,
up.
it was-
Look it up on your handy dandy
Look it
mobile
up.
phone device.
Look it up, Jimmy.
We're wondering.
What?
I-
are
you know,
we
I
looking
s-
up?
What's funny is I just seen that not too long ago again. So that's still rotating. And it
Oh,
come up
yeah.
in like a recommended feed or something,
Yeah. I've
So-
seen it probably about a year
It's
ago.
a little boy and his little baby brother. He sticks his finger in his mouth and the baby bites him.
Charlie bit
and
my
he won't
finger.
let go. And he's like, he just keeps growing. You can tell the baby keeps biting harder and harder
He
until finally
did.
he's like, Charlie. It's just pitiful.
And
And
he
that
had
was the
teeth
first
marks.
YouTube
My other
video.
favorite one is that little kid that takes that dart gun and shoots himself in his sack for some
I
reason.
haven't seen- I don't know.
I haven't
what-
seen
You haven't seen that
I don't
one?
think so.
And then he starts dancing. They put it to music, and so he starts running and he starts doing. Oh man, dude, I can't believe you haven't seen that.
I have not.
I don't have the
No,
system set
that's-
up to show videos. See, this is
That
a
wasn't
downfall.
the first one. The first video ever was something about a guy standing in front of an elephant at the San Diego Zoo. That would be the
Interesting.
first.
But
video.
okay,
Aw.
how did that start though? Did YouTube was that like one of the platform engineers or original people, or was that just the first video from a user that was like uploaded?
The 19-second video features Jawed, Jawed, Kareem, one of the co-founders of YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And his high school friend, Yakov Lepatsky.
Hey,
I don't know.
let's just
I'm
go ahead
probably
and get past
butchering
that.
those names right.
Say that name one more time.
I don't even think I said it right the first time.
Oh, it's right now.
Man. What year was that though? What year did
20.
YouTube
It just
start?
it said it just turned 20. I don't know when that. You're gonna make me get my phone.
That'd be
out.
2005.
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
No, what?
2000.
You know when it was? April 23rd of 2005.
Wow.
And today
How
is
crazy
Wow.
is
So
that?
today-
So
exactly
today
the twen-
Is YouTube
So
We've
we
led our
have-
whole lives up to this moment
This-
for that to happen.
This is
That's
it.
crazy.
This has
That's
just changed
crazy.
to a YouTube 20th anniversary
Anniversary.
celebration extravaganza. Everybody on YouTube needs to view this video. All 49
Please,
trillion
please.
people.
That's the hashtag
Yeah,
right
that'd be
there.
great.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Happy birthday,
crazy.
YouTube. Happy birthday.
Maybe play the-
birthday,
YouTube.
First. Play the elephant first at the zoo.
Oh
before
yeah.
You
I
play
know.
us.
It's a shame that we're not set up because I would play that video.
Play a video.
I
That'd
wonder
be
if that
cool.
video's still in. Is it still up?
I'm sure it is.
I bet it is if he gets.
I'm sure it is.
Well, it probably breaks the community standards. The founder broke them. And it's, man,
It has to be,
there's some
correct?
stringent stuff
Ooh.
that goes on. Like, man, like dude, I struggle. I fight with our church live stream all the time because we'll get taken down for copyright infringement. But we actually have.
There it is. Nobody else can see it but us in this room.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That is crazy.
That is nuts.
crazy. That's exactly
Actually, I think that was a
today.
news channel talking about it. That wasn't the actual video.
Okay. Yeah. that
I
was
suck.
That's exactly what I did. That one video, though. All good, man.
Okay, I got to say one more thing about
Nope.
myself.
Nope.
It is literally
That segment's
a
over.
plug. No, it's not. I have to plug SWAT Pest. I have
Uh-oh.
to.
Yeah.
SWAT Pest Management. Listen.
been-
SWAT pass, you owe me $300.
Yep.
That is called advertising.
Our first advertising.
That is a paid promotion.
Oh man, yeah.
Just
So
playing YouTube. They didn't pay us.
I have worked there for 7 years. My two oldest sons have worked there for 6, and now my nephew, Miss Laura's son, we're not sure about Brian, Sammy, works there too.
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
I know,
It's
you're
a scandalous.
busy.
I
It's a
know.
busy
The
time of year,
DeTalents
too.
literally run half of SWAT Pest. No, I'm joking.
I think it's
Don't
more than
fire me.
half. There's a lot of you guys on there.
I
Yeah.
know.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
Did you hear that? SWAT pest bosses. Sarah's planning a hostile takeover.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I know you love that company.
Yeah,
and they
they
treat
have
you
been
good, and
good.
and so I think you treat them good.
Yeah.
And they've treated us good. I like SWAT.
Yeah.
They got cool trucks.
Yeah.
They take
They
care
do.
of us.
Yeah,
And we do. The church uses their service.
Yep.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because we got an in though.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
Goody.
Man, I keep getting distracted by these lights.
I
Yeah, they're
honest with you.
running,
I
and
like
and
them.
and
They are.
you know I
Right.
forgot, and I control them with something that I don't have access to right now. So we're gonna.
No,
have
it's
to
all
Evidently-
good, but I'm just distracted. Just so
Evidently,
you
you
know.
didn't want to be at the party tonight. This is party.
distracting.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
YouTube 20th.
This is the
It's
YouTube
the-
20th birthday party,
exactly.
the 20th anniversary celebration extravaganza.
That's right.
For YouTube, man. So what have you ladies been up to today? What'd you do today? I know Miss Laura had babies all day.
That's
I had
Well, a baby.
Kamila,
Yeah, that's our
our
granddaughter.
granddaughter number 2.
Yeah,
And
she's so
she
cute.
was fun, and we went into her little kinder music class. It was awesome. She's so cute. She had fun. And then I went and seen Grandma Pat for a little bit, and then came home.
Oh yeah,
Oh, and then we had to pick up Malia May,
yeah. From
grandbaby
school.
number 1.
Grandbaby number
I
one.
know.
one.
So,
She's
yeah, I
super.
was busy.
She's super excited because she made the little all-star soccer team.
Yes.
And man, she's been talking about it. She shows up every day with a soccer ball and a bag,
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
She's
It makes me air her balls up and make sure that they're at the right inflation level.
It's got a busy weekend coming up.
Yeah, no, we got tournament. We got 6 games this weekend.
Mhm.
Really?
That's a lot.
6
2
games.
Friday,
Where
2
at? Is it
Saturday,
here
2
in
Sunday.
Evansville, though?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
over.
That
Are
soccer
they at Price?
complex.
No, they're at Goebel.
Yeah.
Which is Deaconess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Over,
we used to like
Yeah,
to
That's a
I know what you're
nice
talking
one.
about.
Yeah. Where we
it's
used
so
to
nice
fish.
over
No,
there.
no, Sarah.
What?
can't-
You don't say that.
You know, you
Nope,
can't.
we
You
never
cannot.
fish there.
You cannot expose your honey holes.
No.
Sorry.
Well,
Well,
that was the
one
first
wasn't-
rule of fish. You just lost your fishing license.
I said it before her.
Man.
It's the first
See,
rule.
we both understood that. It's like, you know
No,
where.
hold
Yeah, I
on.
know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh.
A honey hole is where you catch.
That's how I was
great
describing the
fish. We
location.
didn't catch a lot of great fish there.
I caught some pretty big ones there.
Well, 3 inches isn't big.
Well,
Whoa.
Well,
Whoa.
well,
listen.
I figured this would take a bad turn eventually.
I'm talking about a fish.
Now, we have maintained a G rating
We have not.
in,
Yes.
in every episode.
Yes. We've not broke.
We have not.
We've
You
done
two
well.
have never
We have
been
not.
G-rated in your life.
We're I would say we're PG, but
Yeah,
regular
there's-
PG.
There's some
We're not
parental
P-
guidance. Would
We're
be
not
suggested.
PG-13.
PG.
No, we're
You
not
know-
there yet.
That one episode where we showed the fight, that might have been PG-13.
That could have been.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, in today's soft
true.
culture,
Yeah.
when we were a kid, that would have been G.
Probably.
It would have been so.
Yeah.
You remember how we could sneak into rated R movies all the time and
Yeah.
Yeah,
generally didn't
bought,
get
you just bought a
questioned.
ticket for whatever
got
you're
a
supposed
ticket
to
to
see.
the other movie
Yeah.
and went into the.
Because the
Just
kids
going
to
working
radio.
there who told
Yeah.
you that wasn't even 17.
Yeah.
They were like probably 15.
Yeah.
You know, they hired, you worked at the theater,
At 15,
didn't you?
That was my
At
first
15,
job.
yeah, that's right.
Show Play
Oh,
Cinemas
fun.
on
Yeah.
Morgan Avenue.
Yeah,
First
I
job.
remember that.
Yeah,
You worked there a little while too,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Didn't
the
you see
concession stand
Vanilla Ice there? And Tom Hanks
and Madonna.
Madonna.
Oh,
For
cool.
what was that?
No, I mean in
Filtered
real
Drinks.
life, not
in
not
real
on a
life.
screen.
They were
Yeah.
playing some of the video games.
It was,
that
Yeah,
were
but she was in
out.
town for Field of Dreams.
No, a League of Their Own.
Oh, League of Their Own.
League of
That's what I
I
meant.
couldn't remember.
How
what
did
it
I
was.
mix
Yeah.
those up? Yes, though. That's yes.
Well, they
League of Their
played
Own.
ball on a field.
I know. Field
Yeah.
of Dreams, though, is that the building
That's
Nell Come?
Kevin
Costner.
Costner.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good movie.
Ray
That
Liotta
was
was
a
in that
great
too.
movie.
Remember
Oh,
that?
was it?
Man,
That's right.
I
He
like
was
Ray
one of
Liotta,
them.
man. I hate that he's
Really?
gone.
Yeah.
He was a
know.
good guy.
Man, you know
So-
his last. You know his last.
It was Blackbird.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
did you know that there's a bunch of stuff on Jimmy Keane? And have you watched any of the
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
Wow, man.
I watched one interview for sure, and that show is very true to form. We talked about that the other
Yeah,
night.
dude's like a for real.
Yeah.
I know that. I know we talked about that it was
Yeah.
being true and everything, but
Uh-huh.
I've watched like this. He was on some other podcast and man, it might have been Vlad. I don't know. Whatever he was on, he went in deep and told those stories. And then, I guess he was a super athlete, football
Mhm.
player
Mhm.
who had a shot, then got hurt.
Mhm.
And then I guess he was a martial artist all his life.
Yeah.
Because when he went into prison, he was wrecking dudes. Like that mean guy that apparently he
Yeah.
told that story.
And he said that it was like, oh, that scene was actually way worse in real life, I think is what
he said he knocked the guy out
Yeah.
right away. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh,
and, you know, he said that Larry dude leaned over and was like, I was watching that.
that was a
That
spot on
dude-
impression.
Oh man,
That was
he
good.
did. But that dude played that. Oh, that
Yeah,
was
he did
eerie.
great.
He's one of my favorite
He
actors.
is, he's going to play Chris Farley
Yes.
in that new bio.
I heard that.
Yeah.
And he's in
Yeah.
something else.
love Chris
I think
Farley.
he's in
I know.
another new one right now that I just seen. I can't remember what it was. I think one that's coming out here soon.
Yeah.
When's that
What's
Chris
the-
Farley thing coming out?
Yeah, is
I
it
don't
like a-
even know if there's a release date on it. I mean,
I
I
hadn't even
saw
heard
an
about
interview with
What
him.
I know. What is it? Like a show about his life?
It's a
or something?
biopic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a,
yeah,
you know,
like a life
That's
story.
like remember the
Cool.
Freddie Mercury movie?
Yeah.
The guy from Evansville played him, or from
Rami
UE?
Malek.
Oh, yeah.
Rami
Yeah.
Malek. Yeah.
Has he been on some other things lately, or he kind of?
No,
Peter out.
He had been on some things prior to that too, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what he's been on lately.
Yeah.
But that he did great in that.
Yes.
Oh, man, he was
Yeah,
fantastic in
great.
that.
He nailed Freddie
That
Mercury.
movie's.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie,
Yeah.
man.
It is.
And you know what? I've not even watched the Elvis one. Have you?
Yes.
Is it good?
Dude, yeah. It's
We
really
need to watch that.
It's
one.
more through the eyes of Colonel Parker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, Elvis. It centers on Elvis, but like Tom Hanks plays Colonel Parker, and he's
Mhm.
kind of like narrating it.
You know what my favorite Elvis movie is?
No.
Forrest Gump.
Elvis.
He's in there for like 30 seconds, but it's
yeah.
hilarious how they.
I was like,
It's like that man was moving his leg. I showed him how to dance. It's funny how Forrest
That's
taught
a
all.
great movie.
Forrest Gump,
That was.
dude.
Your
That's
phone's ringing. That's
such a good movie.
that is.
You telling him that? Did you tell him you're on a very important
Yeah.
extravaganza special
I didn't
YouTube
tell
20
him.
You just
anniversary?
broke the pod etiquette.
That my phone was ringing.
Mhm.
I'm sorry that I'm so popular. I can only.
We're gonna have to ask you to throw
stop
that.
my people.
Throw it out.
Throw it out.
No.
I don't know who it was, but
It was
You know-
yet our other son, Gavin Bean,
so
Fat Boy Beano.
yeah, is he doing all right? He got sick last night.
Yeah.
I texted him this morning and he said that he didn't feel good this morning either. Did he go to the doctor?
Ended up going to the hospital today.
Oh man, what's wrong with him?
Okay.
Anything?
Yeah. a few
We'll
things.
talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're releasing.
I'm going into the.
Yeah.
I'm about to get arrested
Yeah.
for the HIPAA. They'll be out there when I get out of this thing.
Well, he told you so.
Well,
Should be
yeah,
okay.
no, but that don't mean you should. We can't broadcast it on the internet.
No.
When we didn't either.
Well, why'd
though.
you ask her that then?
I didn't ask her for details.
No.
Actually, I think you said, did he go to the doctor?
Yeah, that's all.
She-
That was it.
And then she
Okay.
went into the depths.
And then you elaborated
Sorry.
Well, that's hard.
I was just telling the truth.
yeah.
the truth,
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
I hope he's okay.
I don't know. I hope he's okay too.
He
Okay.
will be okay
Yeah.
for sure.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So we had a big event yesterday. Our baby, our last child, turned 21 years old.
I know, so
It's
old.
crazy, man. I was thinking about. I was like, I was like, that's it. Like there, we
Yeah.
got Kane left.
Yeah.
Kane's it.
Yep.
And you know what I appreciate about your baby turning 21? Out of everything he
I
do,
know.
everywhere he go, you know what?
He wanted to go to.
We all went to Red
Red
Lobster.
Red Lobster.
had a fish feast.
Yep. That's
Oh,
what he
so
wanted.
good.
Some crab,
feast.
some
Man,
crab
They had a
legs.
crab
They're all
feast.
good. They're all good boys. They're all good kids.
We do have good
Yes,
children,
we do.
for sure.
It was good.
They don't
That
get
was
out.
fun.
And Sam is just not one. He just has no interest in that.
No.
He has
Yeah.
no interest in going and doing,
Yeah. Being
being
crazy.
out. He's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not his scene, man. It's
Hey,
just
Red
not.
Lobster and home by 9:30 and in bed by 9:45.
Yeah.
Hey, and
Hey,
he
I
was
appreciate
spry at work today.
Yes.
He was
kept
like, I gotta
saying,
go to
I gotta
work.
go work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he did.
Yeah,
He did. He did get up.
He did good.
Yeah.
I got up this morning early. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up early every morning, though.
I was going to say, what?
Everybody
you get up
brags
early?
about getting up early, and I'm just like, what? I get up
Yeah.
early every day.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
Oh.
Tuesday.
All the days.
When
usually
I
get up.
retire, I'm not getting up early. Some days maybe.
I have no choice. I
But-
don't choose it.
I love to sleep in.
It's
I
just
do
that.
too.
It just
12
happens.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Even if
But
it's just 8
I
o'clock.
have got to where
Sleep into 8 o'clock.
I'll get up
Yeah.
early, like I do at like 4:30 or whatever,
Mhm.
and then I'll be up for a little bit, and then I'll go back to sleep, and then I'll usually wake back up when I hear her rustling around, which is normally, normally I would say 7 to 8. If she has a chance, 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, if I had a
if I could
chance
get away with it.
today, 4 in the afternoon would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never
You're
I've
so
never done
tired.
that in my life. We used to go like to
Oh yeah, no.
church
I've never-
lock-ins, or I'd be out all night
Yeah.
and come home. And I worked third shifts, and I would come home. I was up by 10:30, 11 o'clock because I just can't sleep during the day.
I remember.
Yeah,
I know.
I know, right?
I know.
Just trying to get you
Should
up.
we bring that up? Should we bring up the trampoline and
We already talked about you frying on that trampoline on
Oh, we
like
did talk
episode
about that.
1,
No,
I think.
didn't you fall asleep one time on the trampoline waiting for him to come outside?
I wouldn't
'Cause
say
he
that was more than one time.
he was
I slept on that trampoline all the time.
Yeah.
waiting for him to come outside.
Well, it's either that or I would just
Funny.
or he wouldn't be there and I'd be down there jumping or whatever. And
Yeah.
then it was just a big old
Just
comfortable.
lay
We
down.
gotta-
and-
And
yeah.
here's the best thing about trampolines is that when you lay on them in the summer, they're cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that I don't know why it's black. You'd think it'd be burning up hot,
Yeah.
but usually for some reason I remember it always being
Being
cool,
cool.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
just that
I bet it was in the
material.
shade or something because I bet you put that thing in the sun, it'd be like a frying
hot.
pan.
Yeah. We had a lot of stories surrounding
Oh
that trampoline.
man, that trampoline is
That trampoline
Trampolines are
turned
fun.
into access to the roof.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Wink,
remember
wink.
the neighbor behind us,
Yeah, man. Mr.
called
Brown.
and- yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, he called and told on you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I noticed, men,
We had neighbors that called
and we're
on
old
us.
men. This
Yeah.
us now, right? Is
Yeah.
like, why they always call and tell on kids? Like,
They probably have their
Like, we didn't do that
safety
stuff.
in mind. I mean, that was probably dangerous.
Yeah.
Us jumping
Yeah.
off the roof onto the trampoline. You know,
Man,
that probably
Kids are
wasn't a
gonna
bad.
kill
That
themselves.
probably was a good idea.
you know what I mean, though.
Back
man.
then, though, I didn't think that was cool.
Yeah, I probably would have just said, "Hey, y'all are gonna get killed. Don't do that."
Yeah, just be
But then-
careful.
I don't know if I would have called your
But
parents.
listen, though,
No.
what if one of the kids did get maimed or something?
I'd turn my head and sing a song.
Yeah. I broke my arm on a trampoline before.
Did you?
Falling
You
off
did
of
what?
one.
Broke
Broke
her-
my arm
You
in 2
did?
places, yeah.
I know a guy who broke both of his ankles at the same time
Oh,
jumping on a trampoline.
that sounds
This
awful.
was-
And he
I
was
think-
in his 30s.
I was going to say he was
Oh,
in his
he-
30s
oh,
at that
oh,
time.
That was
Man.
horrible.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I forgot about that.
Matthew was probably like 8.
Oh, when
so-
that happened, Lord?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
thought you
on
meant
it.
like
Yeah.
that's what happened
And
to
the,
that
and the
guy.
trampoline wasn't on flat land, so it was like we got to going, and then I just fell on the ground. On
You
my
know,
arm.
the older you get, the more brittle your bones.
Hold on a minute. You flew off the trampoline, landed on the ground.
Yes.
Oh,
Broke my arm in
man.
2 places.
I didn't know
Did you
that.
have to have surgery or just a cast?
just a
no,
cast,
just a
yeah.
cast.
Man,
Man.
Aunt Betty and Uncle Glenn's house.
you're in Washington.
Yeah.
There's no hospitals.
I'm trying to even think what happened.
There's a
It might
Dairy
have been
Queen
the
and a
next
pizza
day.
place. Huh?
It might have been the next day where I found out because I can't remember really now.
That's
The next
awful.
day.
Probably because when we were visiting them, it was probably a weekend. And then I probably didn't go to the doctor till the next day.
Oh, till the next day.
Yeah.
So your
I
arm
was lost.
Yeah,
it
I
was
knew
just
what
broke
she
until
meant. I
Yeah.
knew she meant she waited
until you went to the
next
doctor.
day.
I mean, it was still broke when you went to the doctor, but
Yeah.
It was still broke until it
Yeah.
wasn't broke anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way that
It
hurt.
wasn't. It was broken until it started to heal.
Until it
and
fused.
Then, and then it wasn't broken at that point.
Ain't that what bones do? Fuse? Don't they fuse
Mhm.
together?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Man.
man, that's horrible though. They hurt. Broken bones are painful.
What's with the Sprite jersey?
I love
I
that
just
shirt.
liked it. Bought it at Targ.
Sarah's got a Target addiction.
Problem. I'll admit it. I mean, we can come out here today and talk about it because it is a problem.
I hate
So
Target.
nice. I don't go in there hardly ever. And every time I do, it's like, oh, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
It's,
not-
always nice.
I just hate shopping.
Yeah,
Man.
you don't just
Yeah.
hate Target. You
Yeah.
hate shopping.
I'm with you. I hate shopping.
I want to go in. If I need something, I go straight to it, get it, and leave.
Yeah.
Now, grocery shopping is different. When we go grocery shopping together, I want to. I want to know what I'm getting
I
for the.
hate
you know.
Not
all
this
shopping.
dude.
You don't like going,
No,
But
I
you're-
hate go. I hate going.
but you have no hand in preparing meals, and you don't.
No.
You just eat what's
Yeah.
made. Yeah. Jimmy don't cook. I think that's probably one of the reasons I like going to stores because we cook together a lot of
Yeah.
times. She cooks. Now, don't get me wrong. There are more nights that I'm not cooking
Not
than
cooking.
she
Yeah.
is, but I do help some. And then also, I want to pick out what I'm gonna be eating.
Like your little Debbie's.
I want
you're
to
picky.
pick out the snacks I'm not going to get none of because the kids are going to eat them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
Should we bring that up? I was just thinking about
Bring
that
it. What?
about the leftovers.
Oh, see,
That
I love leftovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Did you
yeah.
enjoy your
Jenny
leftovers
loves
today?
his-
No,
Gonna eat 'em.
Laura, I did not.
Okay, so that's what
Can't
I
eat
want to
'em.
know.
Eat 'em?
Let's bring
Yeah,
it.
'cause-
no,
all right. We
let's
had
bring
2
it up.
containers, one full of the Cheddar Bay,
You were-
the
oh, yeah.
Cheddar Bay
Bay
biscuits, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one with all of my delicious shrimp that I had purposefully ate part of
So you could have
so I could have the
today.
Could have his
leftovers. So
leftovers.
then, like, we got in last night, and I saw where one of the containers in the refrigerator was missing. I was like, I was just hopeful, so I didn't want to look. I go, "Hey, Kane, did you eat all them biscuits?" He's like, "Yeah, sure did." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I didn't care anyways. Didn't matter to me. Those are just
Sure.
biscuits." And I was like, "All right, man, I still got that container in there, baby." I was so happy, dude. I happened to come back in the kitchen a couple hours later. This dude has that container open, eating my shrimp with his fingers. I don't know how much he ate. I was like, "Well, it's done now. I'm not going to eat that." I was heartbroken
Oh, I bet
and
you
angry.
were.
Oh,
At the same
we
time.
need to go to Red
What did you
Lobster
have for
again.
lunch?
Leftover ham from Easter.
That's-
Again,
There you
Again.
go. Leftovers.
you can laugh at me, but I still like the ham from Easter. I actually enjoy
Oh, I
that.
love Easter ham.
That's hilarious,
That's
man.
funny.
Because you are the leftover king, dude. I
He
don't like. So
is.
I don't love leftovers. I don't hardly eat them.
I will.
There are certain things I will eat leftovers of.
Not very
I'll eat
many.
leftover like gumbos and soups.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But my thing isn't that I don't like the leftovers. The food's fine. I just don't eat the same thing again.
Yeah, it's so
Oh,
weird.
see, that
It's
doesn't
like
bother
if
me.
you're
See, dude,
hungry,
I can
eat.
wear out, so I'll eat the same thing
Oh
over
yeah,
and
4
over
times.
again.
Yeah, I
I
don't do
make
that. I
extra
hate
on
it.
purpose because I know he loves leftovers. I always make extra at night when I cook.
Yeah, leftovers
Yep.
are good. I mean, the boys will eat them too.
Yeah.
I don't know why Brian's so picky.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to
He's
go
so
with.
picky.
I've never ate leftovers.
I'm gonna have to
It's
go
not like it's
with
new.
Brian on this. I'm not big on leftovers. Our boys love them too. I'm like the one that's not big on leftovers at all.
Well, like I said, it's not that I hate the food. And now some leftovers are awful, right?
Yeah.
I'm not eating leftover French fries. That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
no,
Oh, yeah.
no.
I mean,
If I open a leftovers box and I see French fries, I'm like, now I won't lie. You can kind of bring them back to life in a toaster oven if you got a
or
toaster
an
oven.
air fryer.
Yeah,
or
air
air
fryer. You
fryer.
can
So
bring
we
it
have
back
been,
to
but
life.
it's more of like if I ate meatloaf last night, I don't want meatloaf for lunch.
you don't want to have that awesome leftover meatloaf the next day.
Might eat a
you
meatloaf
used to, like,
sandwich.
make meatloaf sandwiches.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's a bad example. Meatloaf is one that I'll eat. But for the most part, I don't love leftovers, man.
Yeah.
I like them at Thanksgiving and Christmas and those kind of times.
Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, because you like to eat that stuff.
Me
You love
too.
that food
I'll eat dressing
and
for,
cheesecake.
For
for
6
the
weeks.
next 2 weeks, as long as it's there. The
Yeah,
big pan,
yeah.
I will take that home and I will eat
Eat
that
the
until
whole-
it's gone.
Yeah.
I love dressing
You
too,
know
and
what
I
I
didn't
hate
like it when I was a
about-
kid.
Yeah, I hate about
I've always loved it.
leftovers.
Like that
is
wet bread.
warming them up.
Yeah, I do.
I do not like. I feel like some things, like meats, especially like warmed up turkey or a hamburger, I feel like they taste
Dry
weird.
out.
Yeah,
yeah,
but if you microwave them.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah, see, so
Oh, he microwaves
so that's
all
why.
his
Okay, so let me
leftovers.
explain. Like, okay, we talk about Thanksgiving. I don't put nothing in the microwave. I'll take like foil and poke holes in it, and I'll boil some water on the stove, and I'll put the turkey in there and I'll steam it. It'll be the most tenderest, juicy turkey you've ever
Yeah.
had. I'll make sandwiches with it. It takes 3 minutes.
I don't have that
Yeah.
kind of time.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Probably
here we
takes
go.
longer to microwave it. And then
I never seen
then-
anybody do that
and-
till I married Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always does.
My
don't like
grandma
turkey.
used to always do that.
I don't
That's
mi-
how my grandma
and I was like,
did.
yeah, this works.
I don't
Yeah.
microwave anything. Popcorn.
You
and I don't
even do that.
I got a
microwave,
popcorn
like,
maker.
Leftover
Man,
pizza
how do you-
or something.
How do you eat
Yeah,
your hot
no,
pockets?
no.
Sometimes.
If I was gonna eat a hot pocket, I'd put it in the toaster oven.
You would?
Yeah.
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 Them little silver sleeves are a lie. Nothing.
lie.
They're like crisping up in the microwave. Nothing gets crispy in the. Do you
No,
know how a microwave
no.
cooks? I'm pretty
It's
sure
from the
it cooks the
inside
water
out.
from the inside out.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
pulls all the water out
Yeah.
of the food.
Well, that's why it's half the time you'll get that hot pocket out, and literally half of it tastes like it's still
it
been in the
literally
freezer.
sucks the
Another-
life out of your food,
Yeah.
just like you two suck the life out of us.
Here we go.
Stop.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
I'm hearing a lot of
You know what?
complaining
Let's
right
just
now.
transition right
Yeah.
now
Go ahead.
into the comment that was made about me during Neil's podcast.
What was it? Oh, when you were talking about you being violent?
Yeah.
That's a true thing.
How is that violence?
You have you punch us in the face.
Why,
You choose
though?
violence.
Why though? Why?
You know what?
Should we give reasons why
I have no
I've
idea why.
chosen violence?
We just went to PG-13. This is the way I
right.
feel right now.
That's right. We're
So gonna
edging in on the R.
I know. Yeah. You know, a while ago you were like, I got to grab this green bag.
Yeah,
That green bag better not have boxing
Oh,
gloves in it.
I haven't looked because I'm scared to look. Man.
Look, what a moron. Hey, listen,
Sarah.
I will take this show off the air. Me and Jimmy will film
Hey,
with some
listen.
other guest.
Now, see, in case people
Don't
thought
start with,
we were
"Hey,
lying
Sarah."
on the last episode.
My hand's cold.
There's that glove.
Laura brought this for me.
Yeah. You're just gonna wear that.
So you brought it.
I don't have anything to do with that.
Maybe.
It's at our house. I figured she stole it last night.
I wish
No.
we had a way for people to phone in, call in, and ask if I need
Can
to
hit one of
you.
them.
Like
Yeah.
what?
You know what?
How
would-
many comments?
We could
should
do
get?
that if we filmed live, but
Yeah.
seeing as how it's Wednesday and this don't go up till Saturday in the
That's
magical world of YouTube. You know, YouTube started 20 years ago today. Did you know
Yes.
20 years ago
Happy
today.
Just learned that.
birthday,
that? Today is the
There is,
birthday of
that's right.
the
The
YouTube.
day that we're going to be YouTube famous.
It's the only thing I watch. We
Me too.
talked about it.
We have.
YouTube, you
You're
should be
making me nervous
YouTube.
for
You
I'm
should.
just looking at it.
I know. I'm glad she's down there by you.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, them boys were hitting Sam last night. like
It was his
punching
birthday.
him
For his
22
birthday.
times.
Yeah, it's 21.
Sam's sitting there like,
Yeah.
just
No,
taking
but he
it
told one of them that was hitting him. He was like, "Look, dude." He was like,
just in my arm.
right here, and he was like, "That's too hard. That's too hard."
It was so funny. I was dying.
And then the dude was like, "I'm going to give you a good one on the last one." And he was like, "No, you're not." He was like, "No, you're not." And I don't think he did. He punched him a little hard, but Sam,
No,
he didn't hurt Sam.
they ended up kissing him on his cheek.
Oh yeah,
No.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
those goobers.
They are goobers.
What are you just going to wear the
I
gloves
mean,
the rest of
these
the time?
boxing
You look like that-
gloves are
you look-
sweet.
She's being ready.
You look like that
prepared.
one dude in UFC 1 or 2 that just come out with one boxing glove on. Remember that guy?
No,
No.
I don't think I do.
Oh man, you don't remember that dude?
No, what was his name?
I don't know, man. Look him up. One boxing glove
one
UFC
boxing glove,
fighter. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he was in UFC 1 or 2 or 3. One.
I don't ever
But
remember
hold on,
that.
UFC, and you can't have punching. I
So
mean, you
back
don't
in the
have
day when UFC
boxing.
This
first
was-
It
started,
was very.
it was
The
bare knuckle. I
Wild
mean, yeah,
West.
there was
Oh,
no
whatever.
rules.
Remember
Okay.
Keith Hackney against Manny
Oh, it
Yarbrough?
was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean against?
No, Keith Hackney and Manny Yarbrough, first fight.
Yeah, and he just beat him up.
Overhand right,
Yeah.
broke his
Yeah.
hand
And it
on
was
his
like hitting him in his
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
But
Ouch.
the best Keith Hackney fight was against Josan.
Josan.
Yeah, where he beat his ovaries to death.
Yeah, that was a bad deal. That's a
why I'm
bad
about to
day.
do
That
one of
was a
you
bad
two.
day.
Ouch.
So there were no rules. The only 2 rules in UFC then were no fish hooking and no biting.
What's
that was
fish
the 2
hooking?
rules.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When you
You put
Oh,
your
like
finger
in
in
your
somebody's mouth.
okay,
Yeah.
like legit. Okay,
that's legitimately very, very, very painful. Like
really.
if you fish hook somebody, oh yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
taking note of that.
Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, because you ought to know. I want you to know. That's what I'm gonna do to you.
No, you're not.
Yes. If
You're
you
not
if you
gonna
hit,
stick
if you
your finger
touch
in her mouth.
either me or Jimmy with that boxing glove, we're gonna fish hook you.
Sarah will bite
We're
your
both gonna
finger
get on a
off
side.
and stick a
We're
finger
both gonna
in
get
her
on a
mouth.
side and we're gonna sprint the opposite directions.
It
I'll look
was-
like the Joker.
Did you see him?
I think it was a throwback fight. Hoist Gracie versus Art
Yeah,
Jimerson.
that's him. Art Jimerson.
Art Jimerson.
Yep.
Wow.
Art Jimerson.
Yeah.
And he would come
Kudos
out with
to you,
just
sir.
one glove
Yeah,
on and
man.
like
I'm pretty sure he only had one fight.
yeah.
Oh.
So back then, UFCs were
How does
tournaments.
he remember these names and he only had one fight?
I know.
'Cause we
yeah, there he
watched
is
these-
right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
He's even posing with it.
With it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
One glove.
Yeah, so because we used to watch them fights and the fights
Yeah.
were back then. It wasn't like UFC where it was like matches like it is now.
Yeah.
It was a
Mm.
tournament, so everybody went there that day, and you might
You-
fight 3-4 times until
Yeah.
you got to the end, until the last 2 men.
Oh, Wow.
Yeah, it was.
And
it
it
was a
wasn't,
martial arts
we weren't
tournament.
watching
Forgot
these on
about
pay per view. We were watching these on VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of like Cobra Kai, huh?
yep.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
We had to go to
Tournaments.
Green's Video and rent these.
Man.
Wow, that's funny.
Is that where
I don't know. if
It's
it was
funny that Green's video
I
come up
just
again.
said,
Is
yeah.
that why you wanted to do that? Yeah, I get it. I was slow.
Yeah,
I was slow
I
to the
know.
party.
I know.
I was thinking about the YouTube
VHS.
party. No, but they weren't quite like Karate Kid tournaments. They were wild. They were more like Kumite tournaments.
They
Yeah, and it
were.
was like different styles against you. That fight, that Keith Hackney and Manny Yarbrough. Keith Hackney was like probably, I don't know, Taekwondo or something.
I thought he was
that.
Jeet Kune Do or
Maybe.
something.
And then Manny Yarbrough was a sumo
Wrestler.
Manny
Oh,
Yarbrough was like
really?
this 6'8", 650-pound dude. Keith Hackney was
That
probably
sounds like it's pretty
6 foot,
entertaining.
160, 180.
200 pounds.
Yeah, I bet he
whatever.
weighed 200. He's a big dude.
He was pretty, yeah.
Yeah. And then remember that Oleg Tektarov started coming into the picture.
Yeah.
He was an early guy. He was forgot. He's in a lot of movies too.
Yeah.
Like if you watch movies like Tough Guy, like
Yeah.
security guys, like he's always
Yeah.
one of the guys in
Yeah.
there. But I liked him, man. He was good. And then my favorite early UFC fighter was
Tank Abbott.
Marco Rujas,
Yeah.
the king of the streets, they
Yeah.
called him.
Yeah.
He was good. He made dudes look bad.
Yeah.
He was
I
so
was-
long and like lean.
Yeah. I always like Dan Henderson. Hendo.
Yeah, I like Dan Henderson, but he was not that early.
He wasn't that early. Early. I don't know. I won't have to say. Who is the dude? I can't remember his name. He had the mullet, and he came out and he just wore like. No, he didn't wear a gi. He just wore like.
Man, you're talking about Howard.
Yeah, what was his name?
Howard something.
Oh,
Howard
yeah.
or Harold.
Harold Howard.
Harold
I
Howard.
think that's what it was.
That's right. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They remember the
Harold
dumbest
Howard.
thing.
He just wore a wife beater and some white karate
I think
pants.
so. Yeah, man.
And this dude come out. I remember the first dude he beat. That guy would come out was like a Muay Thai guy. He was like, yeah, and like but Howard Harold hit him with one little punch, and dude like faded out and act like he couldn't see.
Harold Howard, there he is, right there.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Told you he wore white pants, some white
man.
karate pants, and that black belt's a lie.
How old were you guys when that very?
Oh,
when you
we were
first started
probably
watching,
very
when you
late
first started
teens.
No, we were in
Early
our 20s.
20s,
Yeah,
you
we were in our
think?
20s. Yeah.
Oh, I bet we weren't.
UFC 1, I watched the first UFC in a house that I lived in on 11 down in on Kurth Avenue. Remember that?
UFC.
I lived down in the hood and
With who?
with a bunch of guys.
That's
Yeah.
the house. Okay.
And we rented that. And it might have been out for a year. When we rented
Okay,
it.
well, because
Yeah.
it came out in
94, 93.
93.
Yeah.
So we would have graduated.
So we would have been, so we were 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should do that one
Jeez.
night. Let's watch them all together.
Ken
I thought you
Shamrock.
meant
Yeah,
let's
you-
fight
guys.
or let's fight in a
Ken
UFC
Shamrock.
ring.
And then
was-
Sarah gets
Hoist
the boxing
Gracie.
gloves.
I
Yeah.
forgot that
Yeah.
was-
They were number one.
Sounds
And then
entertaining.
were they the main event number two too? Or was it, I think Hoist might have been hurt in 2. And then they fought again in 3, maybe. Hoist beat everybody, dude.
Hoist's name
He-
is all over this.
He was so good,
Yeah.
man.
Huh?
He was just rocking something that nobody knew.
Well, the UFC was started by some of the Gracies, and
Yeah.
it was to showcase.
BJJ,
Yeah,
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And they weren't, the other fighters had never.
well,
dealt
you can
with it.
remember the commentating was like, "Oh, he's on his back, he's in trouble."
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
he's not.
You know, there's a fighter, I know there's a fighter here in town back in the day. His name was Scott Sullivan.
Mhm.
Dude, he was awesome. Stand-up fighter. I mean, he talked about, our other buddy told me about this story, so it's secondhand, but he said he went to the tournament. He's like, dude, I got smoked. And it was because nobody
He
knew
didn't
Brazilian
know.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And so these Jiu-Jitsu guys were coming in and just doing their passive, whatever.
Yeah.
All they want to do is get on the ground. It don't
That's
matter
it.
if they're on their back, on their
Yeah.
side, now it's more stretched out. Wrestlers have learned how to deal with them. People know how to deal with BJJ.
Well, that's the
better.
thing. Now people start training in multiple disciplines early on.
Yeah, mixed martial arts is actually a thing now.
Yeah,
It's actual whole. It
Well,
used to
you're
literally
putting-
be mixed martial
Yeah.
arts
yeah.
to where it was a bunch of all kind of taekwondo, karate,
Yeah.
whatever. They just bring them all together and be a big tournament, and they would say, "Okay, karate's the best, boxing's the best, Muay Thai's the best, wrestling's the best, or whatever." And then now it's turned into a sport where they train. Most these young kids coming up are going to be scary,
Yeah.
and they're fighting young.
Well,
now.
it's like
I don't even know if I
everything
agree with
else.
it.
Wow, I know.
It's crazy how young they're putting them in like these cages with no headgear. I've seen them with no headgear.
Really?
Yeah, and I think they only do body punches and maybe open hand like palm strikes on the head. But dude,
You
they're-
say that, but you get a little wiry
That's
in
what
there.
I feel like
you
your
know.
adrenaline.
but they're
starts flowing,
they're still down there throwing chokes and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
joint manipulation moves and whatever, a bunch of jujitsu stuff. These kids are in there throwing like triangles and hey, he's turned blue, ref. I don't think he tapped because he's sleeping. I think it's always funny when it's not funny. It's awful when the refs don't realize someone's just
I know.
Asleep.
dead asleep.
Yeah.
And then the other fighter's just fine. Oh yeah, I'll hold them until they die. I'll tell you, that's my one thing about UFC and mixed martial arts, dude. And I think if it's obvious someone's knocked out or asleep, it's cowardice to continue to hit them. I think it's bull. I think that it should be something where there should be penalties for it.
Well,
because you can kill someone.
Yeah,
yeah.
and they do it out of
So,
anger.
I see
they're
what you're
so-
saying, and I'm not. Is it intentional? Sometimes I think so. But I think at other times, man, they're just trying. They're trying to finish, because how many times have you seen somebody get rocked and that second hit brings them back?
No, I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
But I'm talking about, dude, there are ones that are
That's what I'm saying. The
obvious.
intentional,
Yeah.
obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like your boy Dan Hendo and
You know, they're
Bisping.
clapping.
Like, dude, he did that because he wanted to hurt him. He didn't like him. They had beef.
Hated each other.
Yeah, they couldn't stand each other.
Yeah.
So I think, and I love Hendo.
And I think did he even say that in an interview? He's like, yeah, I might have got an extra one in there.
Yeah,
I think he did.
yeah. And a lot of guys do that.
Speaking of extra one, how long are you gonna have that glove on?
What are you gonna do?
It's
She
just
wants
like
to hit
part of
somebody
me.
so
It's
bad.
not
now
part
you're
of you.
talking about fighting. Now I'm wanting to
we
fight.
getting you hyped up.
I'm getting hyped.
Now you look like you're just, I don't know, like a.
Scary? I know.
No, you're not scary. You look untrustworthy though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Well, that's the
word.
thing. I have to keep side eyeing you. I like that.
All right. Bunch of sissies up in the pod.
What'd you think we were going to do? Come up here and fight on camera?
Possibly.
I think she had that in her head.
Could you imagine the views we'd get on that?
This studio area is not very big.
We're going to World Star, baby.
Hey, before we get past the fighting, you want to bring up the Hulk punching big Hulk gloves we used to have that the boys all
I don't know
had?
what happened to them, but I love them things.
Yeah, those were fun. I really don't know what happened.
It's funny to me you don't recall what happened.
Did you knock him
those.
out with some?
Oh no.
He knocked you out with
I
some?
have had one bloody nose in my life.
I don't even
And
remember
it
that.
is thanks to this guy over here. Can you see my finger moving?
I honestly don't remember that.
We were playing around with them, and the boys were
Well,
in
I
there
hope.
too.
I hope I wasn't in a rage. Where are the Hulk gloves? Come here, woman.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
There's actually an episode of not the King of Queens. What am I talking about? There's an episode of that fits because Lou Ferrigno was on the King of Queens. But anyway, it was an episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon he was like Raj was trying to get him to go be his wingman. He was like, no, he's like, I'll give you my Hulk gloves. And he was like, so he went to the party
He was so
with those
Hulk
gloves
gloves.
on, and they were like this. And then this girl liked him, and she was like, she's like, what are we gonna do now, Sheldon? And he was like, Hulk sleepy. Good night. Just walked off and went to bed because he's clueless. I love that movie. I love that show.
What okay, what did I do?
We were all playing around, me, you, Jay, and Mikey in the living room, in our massive living room that we have.
Yeah.
Where 7 people feel crowded.
Yeah, us too. I know how that. I mean, we know how that goes.
Oh man, but we were in there playing, and I had one and you had one, and they're cheering for me, of course, because they love their mom the most. But we were playing around. I had one on my right hand, and mine fell off. And so I bent down to pick it up, and you were down on the ground, and you came up and clocked me in the nose, and it was immediate. Gushing tears and blood was trickling out of my
You shouldn't have gave me that left one.
I should have known better because he
Sounded to me like
So did you have the hot glove
sounded to me
on
like
when
you
guys?
Yes, it hit me right.
Did you guys have like 2 sets of hot gloves?
No,
then?
we each
No,
only
that's
had
we only
Oh,
had
you both
one.
had one.
She had the right one. I
Yeah.
had the left one.
So
That's
I bent
hilarious.
down
I don't-
real
still
quick, and when I
remember
bent
this.
down,
Poor
he was
Sarah.
turning to come up, and he just
So it was an
clocked
accident.
me
I did
in the
not
You know,
throw
under
a
his-
punch.
you know-
at
It was not.
you know, under his breath, he was like, "She gonna learn today."
Yeah. Too funny, you guys.
And this is why the pink boxing gloves come out on a regular basis. I've never forgiven him for
Getting
that.
paybacks.
Well, okay, then why you punch me in the face? I've never
Because
punched you
you
with some
love
Hulk
him.
glove.
That's
It's
guilt by
It's a
association.
guilt
Yeah.
by association.
That's crap. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
I don't know what's wrong with these women. You guys act like you're mistreated.
Should
You both
we
get
talk
treated
about
like queens.
the restaurants we've been to? Do you want me to bring up why I punch you in the face?
No, you know what I told I literally said to myself
You're so
that
mean.
I'm not going to say those kind of jokes on the show because I don't want to do that. But I do want to correct a lie because now that
Here we go.
I'm just playing. No, man. No, you are one that loves to fight. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I do.
You know,
It's my last name. It has to be.
that's not what the Lord wants for you.
That's not what the Lord wants for you.
The Bible said that the meek will inherit the earth.
That's right.
Yes.
Not
So
the-
you two
not-
will not.
Not the pink boxing glove. That doesn't inherit the earth.
Preach it, brother.
Oh man.
I don't know. But I know. And Laura's the opposite. She's no violence.
No.
Besides the story I tell where she punched me in the neck. I don't know if
you
she's
just shared that.
she's-
I have to be very, 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 very mad.
That's a lot of varies.
I know.
I was a lot of
Because
very.
I'm like, I
very,
want to go the
very,
other
very,
way
very,
if somebody's fighting. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, let's go. Time
Well,
to go.
in my old age,
not
I
go
don't-
help. Go.
I'm not
go
gonna lie.
leave.
I'm not gonna fib about it. In my old age, I don't want to be involved in it,
I'm a wimp.
but I'll still watch. Speaking of fights, man, that new video come out with that
Yeah,
Chasers
it
thing
did.
here in Indiana.
Yeah, that was wild.
sure
There
did.
is absolutely no doubt now that the whole video came
Yeah,
out.
He actually got
I
grabbed
mean,
from behind.
yeah.
pretty
what it
much.
looked like is that guy walked up to talk, and then
He never
got-
raised a hand. He
No.
literally didn't do anything.
He got flung
He's-
across the room.
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
wall,
Yep.
fell down on the floor, and then they
And
jumped
then
on
they
him. I mean, that's
started-
what happened,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that's being made up right there? That looked to me
No.
as facts from the establishment's
Yeah.
video camera.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, there's no
You can't lie about that.
Yeah.
You can't, that's not
Yeah.
words. That's literally video.
in no world
Mm-mm.
does that guy lose that suit.
He didn't come
No.
up and just say,
Yeah.
"Hey, look, I'm going to ask you to leave."
Right.
You know,
I think it's
which
funny.
could have all
You know
been
what?
avoided. The poor guys wishing he
Exactly.
would have
What-
done that now.
You know what
Yeah.
I think's kind of funny is that it was the lawyer that made that video
Mhm.
public,
Yeah.
posted it on Facebook,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and shared it out,
It's blowing
and
up.
it's like, it kind of
Yeah.
started it all over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
He's like, I wanted to show you a whole video that
That's
for
what he
some reason
said.
they said they
Yep.
couldn't find or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then no wonder they didn't want to find it, you know,
Uh-huh.
because man. At first, I was saying, it's the guys that establishment is responsible for that.
hmm
They're responsible for what happens in their place of business. The hired employees that did that, they've got to pay for it.
Yeah. It's sad that it's like that, but it is that
Mhm.
way when you are just like if you're a boss at your job. At the end of the day, you
Yeah.
know what your
Somebody's
employees do.
responsible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's just no way that you can have something like that happen and not hold a party, somebody responsible,
Responsible.
somebody overhead. There was
Yeah.
somebody, man. I wonder if one of those guys was like the head of security. Because I'm gonna tell you, the one older bouncer guy, the one that was like in his 40s,
Mhm.
he was the one that grabbed the guy.
Yeah.
Is what it
Yeah,
looked like on
that's what it
camera.
looked like.
Yes, and man, them younger guys just followed suit what that dude did,
Yeah.
and he started punching on that guy, and then so that's when Gigantificus jumped in.
I
And,
appreciate that
Okay.
new
Yeah.
word of the
Yeah,
day.
I like that. Yeah.
you know what that is? That's a prehistoric. That's the biggest primate that ever lived. You guys don't know what? It's hard to say though.
I thought you just made that
Tyficus.
up. For
Yeah.
real.
Gigantificus, something like that. No, I don't make things up,
Don't
Sarah.
Drink.
Nah.
I
do you
gotta
mean?
open this drink. Don't be mad at me. The loud noise it's gonna make.
Here, everybody, get ready for your ears to
It's not
blow.
gonna
No,
be
it won't be
loud.
loud.
That's okay.
That's probably going to be audible.
Oh, that's definitely going to be
That's okay
audible.
though.
That's all right.
We
It's
don't care
just
about that kind of stuff.
The crisp, cool, refreshing sound of a yoo-hoo.
Man,
There's no option
it's so crazy how everybody loves those things, man.
when you're a type 1 diabetic.
Well, that's what. Hey,
It's
good
low
one.
over
It's
here.
not. It's kids, adults, everybody
the
drinks
Yoo-hoo?
some things. It's chocolate water.
I know.
I'm
couldn't-
not crazy.
I don't know how
You
long
aren't?
it's been since I've had a
Oh,
yoo-hoo.
I love
I would
them.
say years upon years.
Chad.
Oh, you don't ever drink 'em
DeTalented
here?
Loves
No.
them too.
Yeah. He drinks 9 million.
So does Sam and
Yeah.
Mikey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they steal them.
I think they've.
I have to put the money back in the
I
box
stole this
after I
one.
find out how many they
I think
take.
Sarah got through to him.
Yeah.
because they haven't
Well,
done
I
it in a
told him, I
while.
was like, sometimes diabetics might need those. Would you two quit drinking them all?
Maybe that's why they did.
So they obviously do well here because we keep having them.
No,
right?
it's because
Yeah.
90%
Oh,
of the
dude.
church is diabetic.
Well, they're only $1. So
Yeah.
I'm glad. I hate selling.
We have
things
to
for
we have to refill those a lot.
more than
Yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, energy drinks and yoo-hoos.
Do you
And
guys
there's
get
these
at
coffee drinks that a lot of
Sam's?
people drink too.
Yeah.
Like some of these little, we get everything. at
Yeah,
Sam's.
they're
Okay,
not
because I've
Sam's.
seen them at Walmart, but Target only has them in the like pouches. There's like a little like
Oh,
box, like a
yeah.
box. Yeah.
Kind of like the.
Kane loves them. I buy them at home, and him and Jay, they'll be gone the next day.
They drink yoo-hoo
Really?
boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yoo-hoo boxes, yeah. Or if I'm at
She said
Walmart, I'll
pouches.
get the can.
They got pouches like Capri
No,
Suns?
not
Oh,
pouches.
it's box. I think
it's
It
more
is
like
box.
a
It's
box.
just
Okay,
box. I'm
okay.
sorry.
I thought you
yeah,
said
I
that.
know.
False advertisement.
I've
sorry.
seen those before. That's funny. The big old boys are drinking yoo-hoo boxes.
Oh yeah, they.
So,
But our kid, I know, like if we buy like Capri Suns or something for anything we buy like for our grandbabies,
Mm.
like
Oh,
everybody's like, oh, they're
Same
good.
one.
And it's like
Fair, fair.
There's
Capri
nothing.
Sun or
Oh,
right now,
what she
she's
loves
into
is Sunny D. Yeah.
The
Oh,
little
yeah.
things.
Sunny
Yeah,
D. I
Kane
used to
likes
drink Sunny
those.
D.
Kane
So we
likes
buy these
those.
like packs of these little bottles of
yeah,
Sunny D.
they're little ones. Yeah.
And she drinks. Man, she
They're
goes
like
through them.
six
Okay, let's
something
bring-
at Sam's for
Yeah.
24 of them. So I
Okay.
feel like it's a good deal too.
What do you want to bring up?
I want to bring up off of Sunny D. Do you like Sunny D?
Yeah.
You?
It's okay.
I do. I like it, but something that I hated and still hate.
I love Tang.
Don't say
Oh,
Is
it.
that what you're going to say,
Tang.
Tang?
Yes. Yes.
Tang
I never
Tang
liked
threw
Tang.
me for a loop.
Yeah.
We were playing a show somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Man, I forgot about
And
this.
like,
I know what you're gonna say.
that was back in the day where like, I think we were just staying on somebody's couch or some
Floor,
kids.
probably floor.
They let, they kicked the kids out of their bedrooms and they let us have the bunk beds or whatever, wherever we were playing. And they were prepared a meal for us or whatever. And I grabbed something that I was not prepared for that taste.
Yeah.
And it was Tang.
Was that the first time
And it was
you'd
like,
ever had it?
they really cut back on the Tang. I think they didn't have a lot of money in that household.
It's a little
And
bit of water.
It was.
So you got like some ang.
I got some.
And you know what's funny is that's like the drink they chose to take to space, man.
Yeah.
But I honestly,
Uh-huh.
that's the drink they say they took to space.
If they ever went to space, right?
That
So
was
funny.
The one.
Yeah.
But I have always liked it.
Yeah, I don't know. There is one I thought that was orange strawberry. Is there?
I don't
I'm
know
pretty
about
sure there
that.
Might
is,
be.
and it was better.
That's not
than-
Tang.
So all of
Yeah.
them are like mixes, though,
Yeah.
right?
Powder.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
they ever made. They
Oh,
never made like
yeah.
pouches or
I remember the
boxes
big
of those.
when we were kids. They were
Those
the big
big
can.
scoop.
The big,
You'd
yeah.
scoop it and make it with water. But now what they
Yeah.
got is those little
Mhm.
bottles that you just squirt
Oh,
into your
yeah.
water.
Yeah.
What do they call those? At first they had
It's
a
kind of like
flavored
Mio.
water thing.
Miho, that was
what
they were.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so they got a Tang one, and then they also have an orange crush one that was really good. They have all the crush flavors.
There's
Yeah.
a whole
Great.
bunch.
Those
They
are
had
actually
grape,
good.
too.
flavors.
Yeah.
I got on a kick there for a while where I was getting those Mios.
That's a good alternative.
I do like
To
those.
drinking things if you-
like low to no calories,
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
water's hard for me. I don't like
I
water.
know, me either.
It's hard for me
Let's
to
get on
You know
that.
what? I do
not
like water.
Yeah.
water.
So
love
what about
water.
Sanka? Remember Sanka?
Oh
That
my
was-
gosh,
What?
my
You talk about
grandma
awful.
Mary.
That's
what
a
I'm
pop, though,
saying.
right?
No.
So that's
No.
instant
It
coffee.
was
It's instant coffee.
Oh, yeah.
that you put 2
I
spoons
never had
in
that.
hot water.
Yeah,
Hey,
this
I
isn't
think
getting
that's what-
brewed through anything. I mean, you're just
That's what
putting
Trevor's
this.
been drinking in
Sanka?
Japan or something
Really?
like
Well,
that.
Instant coffee over there, I think
Yeah.
is
Is that the
they-
thing?
a thing.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't go get coffee,
Yeah.
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 I don't think they have as much
Like actual
like the
coffee.
way
Like a
we do.
coffee
We all have
pot
like
and
coffee
stuff.
pots. Like
Yeah.
it's part of it.
Yeah.
Like when I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do, like before I do anything,
too.
and this is the first time I wake up 4 in the morning, I go in there and turn the coffee pot on.
That's
Yeah.
what I. That's
I-
what. I do.
Here's one of my pet peeves. I'll tell you one of my pet peeves is when I wake up in the morning and the coffee's not ready.
That's your pet peeve.
One of them,
So
He's
you don't
upset
make
about it.
make the coffee.
whoever finishes the last pot is
It's
Oh, is that the
supposed to
rule?
do it. Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good
So wait a
rule.
second. Do you put
It's mostly
coffee in?
Travis.
You put everything in the night before to have ready,
where
and
all
you
you
just.
gotta do is hit the button.
Oh no, I got to go through the whole routine in the morning.
That sucks.
Yeah.
When it's like early in the morning, I don't want to deal with
You
Yeah.
that.
don't want to go through all that, putting
It's
water
taking
in.
so
So
much
easy.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3 minutes
Filter.
of my life I'll never get back.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
want your coffee so bad. That's not hard to do.
That's true.
I didn't say it was hard to do. I said I hated to do it.
He said just pet
There's
peeve.
something there's a difference between hating to do something and it being hard to do. It's not hard to do. And I'll be honest, like
You
usually
just
when I'm
wanna go
making
in
it,
there
I'm
and
telling myself
push
this
the
ain't that
button.
bad, but I'm still
But
still
you're
mad.
Still mad.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I get
Oh.
mad.
Remember
Speaking
that
of-
anger problem we talked about
Yeah.
earlier?
Mad.
Hey, I just said I get mad, but I don't say nothing.
Okay.
What do you roll your eyes for? You were on camera when you did that.
It's fine. We're
That
being
you-
honest
that you
here.
don't say nothing.
I am going to have to edit this.
I told you. I told you.
Hey, speaking of Japan, we're picking up Trevor tonight.
Yes,
Ooh, that's right.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about him getting
Yeah, I
home.
hope he's.
Have you heard from him since he left? Does he?
He's
Yeah.
in Atlanta, or he'll be leaving Atlanta. What'd you say? He
So-
he told me
he's
let me
probably.
know
I bet
that
he's
he
in
didn't.
Atlanta right now.
Dude, he got to Atlanta at like 2:30.
Oh, so yeah.
And his
Long
flight from
layover.
Atlanta to here
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until 9:53
Yeah.
Eastern.
Oh,
So he'll get here at like 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
something.
texting back.
those layovers are killing.
Yeah.
That's a long one. That he always has,
Ooh.
and it seems like he always gets stuck with a big long layover on his way back.
Yeah.
Layovers are awful.
Yeah.
The way
But you
there,
want
it's
like
one
a-
thing, but the way
Yeah.
back.
Well, the funny
Yeah.
thing is
Just
you
wanna get
want like a
home.
little one.
Mhm.
Well, you
Right.
want time to get
To
to
get
the next
from one-
gate,
Yes.
right?
I feel like I
Yes.
never have like I've had a couple long layovers and I hate them, but even worse is like usually I've had to run
Booking
from
it.
one end of the
Yeah.
airport to the
Yes.
other trying to make it, and I'm like, man,
That's
why did
the
they book me on
worst.
this flight?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
I
so
did.
hard to do.
I did enjoy the layover I had in Paris. It was a planned layover because it was an 8-hour layover.
So you left the airport.
We left the airport. Oh, we
Yeah.
went to the Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower. We
Oh,
went
wow.
to Notre Dame. I mean, we went and did all the sightseeing
Cool.
during the layover, and then we got on a plane and went to Budapest.
That's
Ask me if I got to go to
That's
Paris.
fun.
I know you didn't get to go. You know, the worst thing that
Yeah,
we had that when we
that'd
went
be cool.
to the Dominican Republic last year, on our way home, or the year before, whatever it was, on our way home, we got a big long delay. Our flight got delayed from flying out of Punta
Oh,
Cana.
yeah.
Mhm.
So when we got to Atlanta, we got stuck there all night.
Oh,
yes,
I remember hearing
yes.
that. I remember hearing
Alright.
about
Okay,
Dude.
talk about angry again.
So it
We were
was.
not happy.
Did you sleep at all?
No, it's impossible.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
Dude,
was hard.
yeah, it's
I
impossible.
cannot sleep.
Oh.
at
And
the
then
airport.
listen, I promise I'm laying in this chair, in these chairs. That's what you do. You lay in these rows of chairs and try not to die. That's what you do.
And we tried to
And,
get
these,
some sleep.
and the next thing I know, I looked down and these guys came up and there was a guy laying underneath the row of seats. I was laying.
That you were laying on top of?
That's when I lost it.
It was
I was like,
crazy
you've got to be
because
kidding me.
the whole place was empty and all them three guys
Of all
come
the
and laid right
places.
by us.
Wow. That's a
Oh
little
my
weird.
God,
I
that
was-
is weird.
I was
That's very
irate.
weird.
Oh.
Like I opened
Did
my
you
eyes
say
and looked through
something
the
to him?
crack and there's a
No,
guy.
he just got up and
So
walked
Oh
off.
my
I told.
think.
gosh,
Did I ever
that's
tell you
so
about
weird.
my the one time that my flight got canceled in Atlanta? I was flying back from
work
Tampa.
trip.
Yeah, from Tampa to Atlanta. Got delayed once. No big deal. Got delayed twice. That's kind of sucks.
Mhm.
Got delayed a third time, and then they were like, it's just canceled. And
What
like
happened?
somehow
Was it
I
weather?
Thinking he was coming home.
I had
coming
befriended
home,
some
coming home.
other people coming to Evansville.
Was that on that same trip?
It was the same trip, and
We'll use that befriended word loosely.
yeah.
'cause
So
we
and
know
some guy was like,
better.
"Hey, every hotel in Atlanta was booked. That whatever was
So
going
there
on,
was
It's a
something
big,
going on.
huge
Nothing-
convention
nothing
of some sort.
available except for this one shuttle bus driver had a place where he knew we could stay." And this
Huh.
dude was like, "Hey, look, I slipped him some money. He said he's got us."
Oh my god!
And I, you know,
Oh, how sketchy.
looking back, I would have not done this.
There was
So-
this one shuttle bus driver.
Yes.
Dude, that
Th-
sounds
Where'd you
ominous.
go?
Oh,
no.
okay. So this dude tears out of the parking lot, man, blind as a bat, like just driving very
Oh, no.
erratically. I'm like, this is
For
not a
him
good
to
idea.
say that, Laura. For
Yeah,
him
Yeah.
to
for me
say
to say that.
driving erratically.
And dude, any semblance
That's
of any kind of like urban area just started to slowly disappear
Oh,
behind
no.
me. Any kind of civilization was leaving,
Any
was in the
lights?
rear view
Oh,
mirror.
my
So you end up in like the kind of like in
Oh.
the sticks.
Oh, dude. And then so we passed by an old abandoned Dairy Queen. I never see Dairy Queens go out of business. Where am I at?
Oh no.
And then like we pull up and it was like, I can't even remember the name of this motel, not a hotel.
Yeah.
And it could have been pay by the hour. I don't know.
I think
but
it was. I'm pretty
I think
sure.
I think I paid
was.
$40 for the room. Dude, I
Did
walked
you
by
get
some,
any
I'm pretty
sleep?
sure squatters. Like there was a door kind of cracked open that I was passing by and like there were people on the floor like hanging out.
Mhm.
And
Dude.
I got in a room and it
Oh,
was
There's nothing.
rough.
There's nothing
Wow,
like
that's
bad
scary.
hotel experiences or motel
Oh,
experiences.
yeah.
Yeah.
you
So
don't forget
Matthew,
it.
our oldest son, played AAU basketball. So we traveled all over the place for basketball. And I mean, we used to go to this place that's not too far from here. It was in Hopkinsville. Remember that? And we'd always everybody stayed at this hotel. And
Uh-huh.
dude, I'd wake up and see my luggage moving across the floor. It's because the roaches and bugs were trying to carry it out, dude. It was, you remember that?
No.
You don't remember how filthy that place was?
I don't-
It was, what was that hotel called? I'm about to blow them
Did
up.
we have the twins with us?
Yeah, we had the twins with us.
I'm trying to think then.
Sam wasn't born. It was the
Yeah.
one in Hopkinsville that everybody
Okay.
stayed at. Remember?
Yeah.
Come on, what's a cheap motel?
Like a Super 8?
Lodge
No,
or
that's what it was.
Econo Lodge.
Lodge.
Okay.
We stayed at the
Ooh,
Econo Lodge
yes.
in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and let me tell you, there's a reason it was more like the Roach Lodge.
SWAT
There were
Fest
bugs.
does not do service there, I will tell you, because there would not be that way.
And here's the thing, though, I kind of think
It's
that,
when
that
the-
it used
the
to be,
babies were when the twins were babies.
Like
I don't have any.
babies.
but I think it used to be
memory
like a nice
of
hotel.
that.
And
And
then
because-
just went down.
And then like
Like
Econo Lodge bought it or something because it was like
Oh.
the whole hotel was built around this real nice, you could tell at one time pool.
Yeah.
And then all the rooms had like windows and went out. Remember we'd watch the kids swimming from the balconies in the pool down there. How do you not remember this? It wasn't that
I
long
don't
ago.
remember.
She said
I mean-
the twins were babies. She doesn't remember
Yeah.
nothing.
when the twins
She
were
was taking
babies,
care
it
of
was
two
like
babies.
Well, No, but she was there. I seen her.
I believe I was there.
Well, I think
It was
in
Matt's
fact,
tournament.
in fact, I'm pretty sure we left one night. We were like,
Because
we're
it
not
was
doing
so
this.
bad.
We're like, yeah, we ended up leaving.
Yeah.
I think we were like, home was close enough to where
I
we
was
could just
gonna
drive
say,
back.
just
in the morning.
yeah.
It's like an
Hopkinsville's not
hour,
very
10
far.
minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised we
Oh,
got
I
a
asked him. That was the
hotel.
first question I said. I was like,
Looking back, I would have rented a car
did you
and
see
came
any
home.
roaches? Yeah.
So were you in Atlanta when that happened?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it was
That's
terrible.
crazy.
I slept with my clothes on,
He didn't even
Um,
take his clothes off.
and I don't think I pulled back the bed,
Yeah.
the comforter. I think I slept on top of the comforter.
Oh,
I don't even think
man.
I
And
took
then
my
made it
shoes
back
off.
to the airport like the next day.
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
we got up super early
It
and,
was
and met
early.
down in the
Was it
well,
the
I would
same
say
shuttle
lobby,
driver?
but I don't think it was much of a lobby. No, it was a different shuttle driver. That guy got us $40 and ran.
Never to be seen again.
The guy got us $40 and probably spent it at that motel in one of the rooms.
Were you
Oh,
with those
Lord.
people you went with?
Yeah, not in a room. No, I mean, we all got separate
but
rooms.
But you weren't
that was
with them.
that whole group. went
that
for
whole group,
sketch?
we all agreed, and these were businessmen from Evansville.
Oh yeah.
And it was like the next morning, it's like, dude, what? This
What did
was-
we do?
Why?
That's so bad.
So you didn't enjoy your stay.
You said
Not
you
so
wish you would have
much.
just stayed at
I-
the airport.
I know. Look at no. That was my point.
Yeah.
I would have rather done what you
Yeah.
you
Just
had to
stayed
do.
at the airport.
Yeah.
Looking
At least I
back
would have been
on it,
safe there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, looking back on it, like when that happened, it shouldn't have been, it just, the whole day, just when things don't, my biggest pet peeve is when things don't go according to plan. And like, we just kept waiting. They're like, your flight to be here at Punta Cana in this time, this time, this time. And then all of a sudden, wasn't there. So then we get to Atlanta and we make it barely in time to get to our flight. But since it was an
yeah, they
international
didn't give
flight,
us
we had to go
enough
back through
time.
security.
Mhm.
And we're in the Atlanta
no.
airport. There's 500 people
Yeah.
standing in this line.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
one security line
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry, it's late. This
Because
this
you
is
had to
not
go
very
through.
busy. I'm like, lucky I didn't go to jail that night. Because
That
I was
might
in
have
the-
been more comfortable.
it probably would have, because I was getting rowdy in the airport because of the way that went down. So we ended up not
Yeah,
making our
'cause that's how
flight.
we missed our
We
flight.
just missed our flight, period.
Jeez,
And then they're just like, and
that's
here's the
horrible.
thing about it is airlines are pretty much like, yeah, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh yeah.
They're like, there's nothing you can do
They're
about
not
it.
trying to help you.
They're like, guess what, big guy, your ticket's not going to make or break us. We don't care if you never
Yeah.
fly this airline
Again.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly the next one. You're not going to fly it again either because the same stuff's going to happen. If you're going to travel, you
Sure.
better just be ready for that
Yeah.
kind of stuff to go
Yeah.
down. And
Some
man,
delays.
that's hard. That's a challenge for me, man.
That's
I'm
what sucks. It's like, hey, we got to travel. Let's hope for the best.
Ugh.
Because there's no guarantee we're going to get there when we're supposed to get there.
you
Yeah.
never get there when you're supposed to get there.
That's why it's supposed to be vacation and just say, okay.
Yeah.
But that was coming home.
Well,
But
I know.
vacation,
Which
you're
is the
like,
worst.
It's vacation. Just
You have a lot more
relax.
patience when you're on the
no.
way.
What,
there.
here's what bothered me too is that I had already paid for a hotel that we weren't getting to stay at.
Oh,
Yes.
We got to the
yeah.
hotel an hour before we were supposed to check out. We went in
Yeah.
and took a shower and
We
left
did go in
Oh,
and use
my
the shower.
That's terrible.
See,
Yeah, that was rough.
in Louisville and then drove home
and then drove.
Yeah.
the day
Ah.
before Thanksgiving.
Gosh, it was.
Yep. Yep.
And Adam and
Please.
Amber were literally
Oh, yeah.
texting each other saying, Brian's going to kill us because you were driving so fast.
So that was
Like,
the
we were getting
original
home in a
plan
hurry.
was to get to Louisville, spend the night, get up in the morning, and come home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you travel
was a
all day.
rough
We're like, hey,
night.
let's get our flights. Our flights were scheduled to get in at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're like, man, let's just sleep there instead of
Get
try
a
to
good night's
drive
sleep,
home.
yeah.
You know, it was just Louisville though. So yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, we got here when it was time to leave Louisville.
You did.
Yeah.
I think I got here from Louisville. I think we might have made it in.
17 minutes.
No.
I didn't even like look
I
up.
think if you
I didn't even
drive,
wanna see
if you
it.
drive like
I
a
just had to keep
responsible
looking at my
human, it's a
phone.
2-hour drive, an hour, 50
It's
minutes.
100 miles.
It's 100
away.
miles exactly.
Yeah.
So it's 2 hours. We might have made it in about an hour and a half.
I bet Adam knows for sure.
He probably does because
He clocked
apparently
it.
'Cause he was
they were like
nervous.
texting each other. This could be the end.
They were scared.
I would have been, and dude, the
And then he was already upset, so nobody really wanted to.
funny thing it is that here's how much of a
hit.
hypocrite I am though, is that I would have been more. I would have been like, slow down. What is wrong with you?
Right. right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm only good
That's true.
at that stuff if I'm the one
If you're in
driving. Like, I don't
control.
want to be in the passenger side.
Oh, I know.
Like
this.
when we went to California with you, that was
That's what I was
awful.
about to bring up.
I don't. I just.
We were on the road for 12 seconds.
I had to keep looking down at my phone.
I-
that
that's
trip,
what
too.
Laura
I
said.
beg
She
to
goes, "I'm
disagree.
just looking at my
I
phone."
disagree.
I'm
I don't
surprised. Dude, I'm
It was
surprised we didn't
wild.
have to pay for that rental car
Oh,
because
for
I punched
sure.
a hole through the floor
Yeah.
trying to hit my brake on that
You
side
were
of
in
the
safe
car.
hands.
Yeah. We were on the road in Los Angeles for 12 seconds before Jimmy had the window down yelling at some
That
person.
That is not true.
Traffic was crazy.
I believe it was true.
It was too.
I don't remember that.
We were in like Hollywood.
Right when
we were
first
headed to the hotel.
got off- yes.
And
like
I
you-
yelled at somebody.
Oh.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like me.
I think I was like, Jimmy, don't ruin our whole vacation. No, you did, because also we had waited for so long to get our rental car.
Oh,
Remember
that was
how long
terrible.
we were in
That
there?
was. I
That
was
was
ready
rough.
for
We
how
were ready
long of a
to
line
get
that
Because
was.
we were
our
just ready to be at our
hotel and-
destination,
yes.
and it took
And
like
we
an
waited
extra
so
hour or
long.
two to even get there.
Yeah.
What'd that take us like 2 hours
That
just to get the car?
was
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was
I
about
believe
to.
so.
It
After
was a
flying-
process.
I remember
Oh.
I was again heated. And the guy that drove us just from LAX
Yes.
to
Yes.
he almost killed us, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was going like
Yeah.
80.
You talk about erratic. I mean,
got
he was.
pictures so
He-
Yeah. You should have been thankful that I drove the rest of the time.
of us standing
He
on
threw,
the bus.
he threw us like into the bags, remember?
Yeah,
like he
I
was
do
like,
remember that.
It was rough. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is about shuttle drivers, man. They think
They don't
they got
care.
a God complex.
Oh man.
Their
Because-
job is to get you there.
because they
so
do it
that's
too.
all they
Have you
care
ever
about.
have you ever parked at your car at the airport and left it and had to ride
Yeah.
the shuttle to
Oh yeah, to the
Yeah.
terminal.
them? It must be a prerequisite of that job. You have to drink Jack Daniels before you drive because, dude,
They've got to do something to keep it interesting.
you try to get on. I
But
remember
they're
every
flying.
time you're trying to get on and put your bag, and they're
Yeah.
already.
Oh, they're
already
going. They got
Yeah.
places to be.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
I can.
they don't mess around.
But it's ridiculous, man. It's not safe. They have almost killed.
You know, I could see
hate
my future
shuttles.
as a shuttle bus driver.
I can.
Yeah,
dude,
there you go.
I think I'd be the perfect
100%.
shuttle bus driver.
Man, maybe that's what
I
need to
think
do.
that you may be.
I like driving.
more made to do that than that
I
should
agree.
be your retirement job.
That's hilarious.
Sign me up.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, could you imagine?
I think all you got to do is apply.
No, there's not headhunters
You
for
think
that
you
job.
got to have a CDL?
I think you
to
probably
drive
got
a
You probably need to
shuttle?
wait 5 years till you turn. Once we get our AARP stuff.
Oh, it's been coming in the
Oh, no.
mail.
Oh, has
They've
it?
been wanting me to join.
You,
You know-
did join so that
Oh,
we can
that's
get that
right.
discount.
Oh,
at
I
our
am a member,
AT&T
sir.
Are you?
phone
I am
on
a
our
member.
new
AARP.
phone.
Oh, good.
When we switched,
You know, I went to this restaurant one day, Hardee's, and they gave me a senior discount. They were like, "Sir, we put your senior discount on there."
Like, thank
I would have
you.
just been like,
I'm like
"Thank you
happy.
for
I was
getting
happy for the
about that.
discount, but I was like, "What the crap?
Yeah.
What in the world just happened?" And that was like a few years ago.
Oh man,
Remember that?
Yeah,
That was probably what,
funny.
2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm really older now,
Yeah,
but I haven't got it since.
it happens.
You need to ask for it.
You know, you've never got a card in the mail. They told us you were going to get. A
I've got an
card in the
app.
mail.
I didn't.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I thought you would get
Everything's
a
an
card.
app
No, I got an
anymore.
app.
Oh, for
And
your AARP membership.
AARP app. I got an ARP.
ARP.
So ARP is Association
I have no
I
idea.
think it is an American Association
Of
for
retired
persons.
persons or
That
something.
I
sounds
think
legit.
that's what it is.
That
Yeah.
sounds-
Okay.
You know
Well, you're not retired?
who I ever, or the person that I first found out about AARP from?
Mm-mm.
Any guesses?
No. Who?
I have no idea.
Big Jimmy.
Mm-mm. Poppy.
Pop.
Oh,
Poppy.
yeah.
Poppy was
okay.
because that man, he loved
got
a
his
good
A-
discount.
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
loved
Oh,
a
yeah.
good
Oh, yeah.
discount.
Yeah.
And he
That's
did.
funny.
And
That
he
sounds
had
like my
2
dad.
cards. I remember
He's the-
he had 2 cards.
He was the guy who would go
Two of
to garage sales,
Oh.
buy something at a low price, and then have his own garage sale
And
and sell
resell
it at a higher price.
There you go.
And markup, bro.
That's what it was.
But there's nobody that likes
funny.
saving money more than Laura's dad.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you.
He's So
Yeah.
he's something.
He-
Jerry likes to
He
save
likes
money.
a good
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
coupon.
dude, yeah. We went on vacation one
That's the
time.
story.
This is my favorite Jerry
She already
story.
knew. She already
I know, I was like, here
she
it
goes,
comes.
oh, here it comes.
We're staying in this condo that's got this little store in it, right? Like a little
Like convenience.
yeah, a little
store.
convenience
Like
store.
sundries
Yeah.
store.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the
So
condo
Laura-
has like little kitchenettes and
Yeah, you could cook and
everything.
you could prepare.
pots
We
and
went grocery
pans
shopping.
and
It was one of those
stuff.
vacations,
Yeah.
and
And the
we
pan
bought stuff to make pancakes for the kids and for
Mhm.
just for everybody one morning. And so we're making the pancakes, and then we realized we're like, oh man, no,
They
I
just
forgot.
came over to visit.
No,
or something.
but we were making the pancakes, and we were like, oh, we didn't buy syrup. So I was like, well, Laura, I was like, you want to finish this or whatever, and I'll run down to this little convenience store and I'll grab some syrup.
Yeah.
And then her dad had come in, and literally when we were having that conversation, he's like, you know what? I almost brought stuff to make pancakes. He said, but then I thought I'd have to buy syrup too.
Wow. Didn't want to spring for the syrup.
Spring for the
Couldn't
That's a
have
key
it.
ingredient
He just
of
wanted to
pancakes,
drive
and
the
he knew he
best
wasn't prepared to
ingredient.
pay that money.
He
for
was
syrup.
not willing to buy.
What else?
$2
does he
bottle
do?
of
He
syrup.
does a lot of like penny pincher things. It's
Well, you know what,
hilarious.
Granny-
Oh, the stories
Ooh.
you guys tell.
Oh well,
When
yeah.
you were
when we went
kids-
to McDonald's, we weren't allowed to get. He didn't like to take us to McDonald's because we weren't allowed to get French fries or a Coke. You know, we got a burger and some water. So
So didn't
That's-
even get the fries.
Yeah,
with it.
no.
Really?
Man.
yeah.
that's worse than like
He
a high school
I'd
field
rather-
trip.
Your
I'd rather
McDonald's
have nothing.
experience.
I'd
Remember they would
rather
say,
just
"We're
not
gonna."
have
Remember
it.
when you take a field trip?
And
They're
that
like,
was
"We're gonna
probably
take you to
back then when
McDonald's,"
those
and then
sandwiches were
they brought you
25
like a janky little hamburger that McDonald's got ready like 4 hours ago because
Yeah.
they knew you were a kid. You know, a bus was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
It was awful. I remember we were like big teenagers and like a track and football team. They're like, we're just stopping for McDonald's. I was like, oh crap, because
And
I knew
that-
they weren't even gonna give you a cheeseburger. It was gonna be a
It was a
hamburger.
hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
cheese
That was
on it.
probably back when a hamburger was like 59
That's
or
what I'm saying.
69
That's
Yeah,
what
cents,
it
something
was.
like
Just
that.
said, yeah.
But
Maybe
there was
cheaper
5
than that.
kids. I had 5 kids, so
They did have 5 kids, but there's more than that. There's other stories that I mean, like you tell them how you guys used to go to the drive-in movies.
oh yeah, we always
Did everybody hide in the
that
trunk?
was
Your
probably
dad
part
used
of
to do
everybody
that.
did that
Yeah.
though. That was kind of fun.
We didn't do that.
We had a van in the you know, we could get into the diamond of the van and hide.
Yeah.
It's like one of the seats faced to, to the front and one faced in the back. And so there was like a place to hide in there. And we always hid in there. And he would pop his own popcorn or
Yeah.
we'd even take
Bring
hot dogs.
Bring whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Papa's own
That's some
pop.
good
he was like,
memories,
he's like,
though,
listen
right
here,
there.
kids. When we get to this place,
Yeah.
Don't
you better
say
not-
a word.
Don't
Yeah.
ask for nothing.
We probably had like a float in the car to hide it. Like they would block.
Don't try to get me to
Fake
buy you
wall.
nothing. You know what? Don't even look at nothing. Matter of fact, close your eyes. I'll tell you when the movie's over.
And then he
Can't
parked
be in
outside
there.
the fence. He didn't actually even go in. It was like, this is a silent film.
It's like we can see it.
We can see it.
Oh, no, and then we didn't go in.
Oh, man.
That's so funny though.
Dude, our first date, we went to a drive-in theater
Movies.
and the radio wouldn't
you?
work. We had
Yeah,
no
his
sound.
radio didn't work. Let's go.
What car? What
What movie
It
was
was a
it?
little Chevy Nova. What did we go see?
But we could hear other.
Yeah, we just
Oh,
you
roll
could
the
just-
windows down. You can
Yeah.
hear.
Did we go see?
What was it?
Wow.
I forget.
Who knows?
We've seen a lot of
It
movies.
was our
that
very
drive
first
in.
date, so we might
It
not have
was.
watched the
Where?
movie
What
much.
drive-in?
Rio.
Probably the- yeah,
Oh,
Rio.
it was okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's
No,
been one
there
around.
Has
used
there
to-
been
No.
another? I don't.
Well,
No,
Starlight was in
one.
Henderson, but that was like closed.
No.
I think when we were babies.
Well, do you
Off
remember?
of Theater Drive, because that's why it was called Theater
Oh
Drive.
yes.
There was a Jeff
There was one
Bowley.
there.
yes, there did used
That's
to be a
where
drive-in
Dad
there.
would sneak
Not
us
to
in. I
throw
think
names
over
around,
there.
and then there
Yeah.
was
Jeff
there
Bowley
was
just brought that
Sunset
up.
off of 41.
Oh, yeah.
Where Lawman.
Yes,
Lawman
that's the one we
Tactical
went
is
to.
now.
Sunset. I
Yeah.
think that's where Dad used to sneak us into
Yeah.
that one.
It's a Sunset.
Mhm.
And there was one, wasn't it Starlight that was in Henderson?
There
Or
was
Starlight
one
in Rio?
I think Starlight's the one.
Is it? There was one
but
in
there
Henderson.
was
Yeah,
one
there
in
was one in
Henderson,
Henderson,
too.
too.
I remember
Yeah.
you could
Right.
see it when you drive across. You could see the big, the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then now it's just all gone.
The first one I went to was
That's
the one
sad.
off of Theater Drive. Yeah.
Driving.
That whole area is so different there. Like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not even is it even a flea market anymore?
I don't think
It's
so.
the old Kmart building on South Lane Drive.
Yeah.
Dude, I've got so
Oh.
many. I ain't gonna lie, I got memories in that place.
I don't think
That was the
everything's
Kmart.
there.
Like when I talk about like Kmart stories,
That's where it was.
that's the one that was, man, where we would get like
That's where we
ice.
went to.
Kmart sold cherry ices and Coke
Ices.
ices,
Oh, yeah.
and they had
Mhm.
popcorn and stuff. I love going to. Man, I remember getting older, and then you started kind of hearing the Kmart jokes, and I was
Oh,
like,
no.
what are they talking
I
about?
know.
Kmart's
Kmart's
fantastic.
I love Kmart.
That
Yeah.
blue light special.
I
mean, that was a really good
We
deal,
would
right?
look for that. We
Oh.
waited
Oh,
for
yeah.
Hey,
that.
do you remember
Awesome tracks.
Do you remember? I was telling somebody about tracks the other day.
If you didn't ever have a pair of tracks, then
Oh, I don't know.
you can't call
I'm
yourself.
sure all of us
You can't
have
call
them.
yourself hood.
I remember I had a brown pair of tracks.
I had every color pair of tracks
Brown.
because that's the school shoes I got every year.
That's true. Do you remember what else was in that complex?
Yeah, Western Sizzler.
Well, yeah, Sizzlin.
Oh,
Western
Sizzlin.
Sizzlin at the very end.
Yeah.
There was another
Yeah.
store though there too. You don't remember
Another
that?
store.
Was it like a trading card
No.
store?
It was
Was it Ball 4?
Nope, it was Ashley's Outlet Store.
Okay, I don't
remember that?
remember
that.
You don't remember that?
What
But
was
man,
in there? What was
Ashley's
never?
Outlet.
it was Ashley's Outlet Store that had outlet clothing.
Wait,
like
wait.
kind of
Was-
discounted
was-
clothing.
You talking about
Okay.
it was in there after Kmart left?
No, it was in the.
It was
same-
like when Kmart was there. There was like
it was next
on the
to
end
it,
or
on the
something?
right hand side, in between that and Western Sizzlin.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time at Western Sizzlin after church.
Yeah, me too, man. We went
That
there a
and
lot.
the
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa
right
around the corner.
Ponderosa.
Yeah,
I spent more
Yeah.
time at Ponderosa. I think it was probably cheaper.
I don't know. It was probably split for me, but I mean, it was either or of those places.
We spent a lot of time in that Ponderosa, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like I that's the main place I remember
Well,
going after church.
and that's
growing
you
up.
know what's funny? We continue that into our teenage years.
Yeah, until they closed it down.
Yeah.
There's none now. There's one in
I
Vincennes, and it's
know.
nothing like
My dad told me
Ponderosa.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
hardly
really?
Anything over
They don't
there
have
now.
that like buffet.
Nope. If
No?
they do, it's like real small.
Man, that's
Dude, that
disappointing.
buffet Ponderosa used to have was legit.
We were talking about
We-
those chicken
oh,
wings. the other
popcorn
day.
shrimp
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fried chicken wings. And
Yeah.
man, dude, and that's one thing I remember about my Uncle Bob Myers. He's gone now. He died.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember him at Ponderosa.
Did he love it?
He would
You tear up some food.
he would have plates
Just
where we were like, how did he get that much food on that plate? And he would go up there several. Dude, I'm telling you, he would come back with a salad plate. And it would be like this tall. And me and Chad would be like, oh my gosh.
It's impressive. That's an impressive.
And I
feat.
remember us being in there, like the older kids talking me into putting like ketchup in my drink and salt. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
like
Lord.
being dumb.
Yeah, I do.
Our dads would get so mad at
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I remember there was a cigarette machine out there.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. I remember
I'm pretty sure we
those.
probably hijinxed ourselves a couple squares out of
We
that.
did. We probably did.
That's probably where it all started going wrong.
At the
Oh,
Ponderosa
man.
Oh,
on South
no,
Lane.
don't tell Martha that.
But then that Ponderosa is where my grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, I think she
Yeah.
passed away at the hospital, but that's where she
That's
had
where-
a heart
yeah.
attack there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And was it a Sunday after church?
It was a Sunday after
Yeah.
church.
I thought so.
And I hadn't
Oh.
gone. And they were trying to get a hold of me, and I just remember that. But Chad was there, and to this day, he don't like talking about that. It
Talking
was.
about
It
it.
was. I think he was sitting right across from her because
That's
he
gotta be
describes like
horrible.
he kind of describes the way that she
Like
looked
what
at him
happened.
and kind of what went on. And I'm glad I wasn't there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to take it. But I'm gonna tell you something about that Ponderosa, man. They were so good to us at night, and like
Yeah.
they provided all the food the entire
really?
time for the funeral.
Did they
kept
really?
yes,
Oh.
I
yes.
never knew that.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
manager that was working there. I
Um,
don't know his name. I wish I did.
I actually I know his wife. She works at where I work.
When she talks about that
Really?
store, she talks.
No,
about
I don't think
knowing
we.
that.
We
You
never
never-
mentioned. We never
Because
talked
for
about
some
that
reason, I
story.
feel like you said one time that you were like, you discovered that. Are you sure you didn't talk about that? I don't know what I'm
well,
talking
dude,
about.
you know my memory. We might have, but anyway, I know for a fact that was her husband.
No telling. Okay.
That was
Is
nice
he
of
still
them.
alive?
Yeah.
I don't remember if he was young or old or.
No, he was younger.
Because
Like,
she my grandma I was 17 years old when she
Mhm.
died, and I'm almost 50, so she's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
This day I can't. I've never been to her since the day we
Really?
buried her. I can't. I
Really?
just can't go, man.
To the cemetery.
She's
Yeah.
not there,
Yeah.
No,
no,
that's-
no,
that's true.
that's very
and
true.
and I'm not gonna lie, man. Cemeteries are weird to me. I'm not a cemetery goer.
yeah,
I'll go when we
like
bury
bury
them,
someone.
but
You don't visit.
the people I love aren't in the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know,
That's-
it's not where they're at, man.
That's
No,
true.
that's
They're
for
with
sure.
the body. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the
Present with
Lord.
the
So people can
Lord.
say whatever they want. That's
Yeah.
what I think. And so I just can't think about somebody I love being in a box
Like in
in the ground. They're not there.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're not there.
No.
So anyway, I've
Yeah.
saying all that to say I've never been back. And since we buried her that day, I've never been back. I drove to it one time because Sam wanted to go,
Oh,
and I let him get
Really?
out and
Yeah.
go.
Showed him where it
Yeah.
was.
And then after that, I've never gone back.
No.
And I don't know that I ever will.
yeah.
A lot of our family's in there too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's,
What
that's a popular
cemetery?
place. people are dying to get in there.
What
I
cemetery?
know.
That's why there's the walls and the
I
fences.
That's right.
there.
That's why they do
Oh
it.
my.
Nothing like a good,
That's
nothing like a good
You guys
death
are
joke.
dumb. You guys are dumb. Did you guys ever go to the Kmart on Morgan?
Oh, I
Yes,
did.
absolutely.
Okay, that was the one Grandma Mary
Yeah.
lived probably 5 minutes from.
That was the bougie
and
Kmart.
that's the one that we
That was
would
the-
go
yeah.
to.
You
Yeah.
you were not on the. You did not grow up on the southeast side.
I did
you
not.
you were
I did
up
not.
there with those north
but
side.
I am grateful that
people.
you've brought me to it.
This
Yeah,
is what
I
made
brought
her-
you-
But to be
her love
honest,
for
brought you over
Target,
to
going
the
you
good
know,
side.
bougie
but
Kmart.
talking about that Kmart that we used to go to, that's why I loved. Everything was right down there. Like that's everything we did. It was
Yeah.
like Ponderosa was right
Yeah.
there, Rockabar was right there, Western Sizzle was
I
right
forgot
there,
about
Yeah.
Rockabar.
the
Zesto.
Kmart was right there. Everything Zesto was right
Yeah.
there.
The stop and go.
Yes.
Oh,
Remember
stop and go.
Yeah.
That was
We
right
rode our
there.
bikes to stop
That-
and go.
and I
all
don't
the
remember what
time.
it's
Did you
called,
really?
but there's a little.
Yeah,
I think it might
'cause
be
I
called.
didn't live very far from there at all.
Is it called? Man, there's a little breakfast place down there. I don't know if it's a Greasy Spoon down there on the right, and I want to say Crickets, but I don't think it's Crickets.
Man, no, I don't think
Oh.
so. I think I know what you're talking about because I think Aunt Judy worked there.
it was so
Oh,
good.
really?
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
I don't remember
I think that's
the
why.
name.
I think that's why my dad took us there.
That was on the corner of
Okay.
Riverside in Kentucky.
Right there,
Oh, that's
I can't
right there,
remember the name.
right there across the street from Rockabar, I think.
Yeah.
Rockabar.
You know, there's a couple places
Yeah.
like that still in town, dude. So when I used to, several years ago when I worked right out of college at that fleet service business, but I would go with this older guy down to, I think it was called Mom and Lil's Cafe or Mom and Libby's.
I've never
Oh,
heard of
dude,
that.
it-
I don't know where that's at.
It was down by Garvin Park.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Remember
Okay.
where you know that
Yeah.
you know there's that one that's like they always got that banner out that says
Yeah.
alligator or whatever on it that they
Like that
serve.
little, like, yeah.
It was down. You kept going toward Garvin Park, and it was on the left.
Mhm.
And now I think they moved, but I don't know how it is now. I know I think Mom and Lib's is still there, Mom and Libby's or whatever. But when I went there, Mom was there. Mom was the cook. She'd be. Dude,
Oh, that's
Really?
legit.
she was a little old lady
Yeah.
back in the kitchen
That's
throwing
cool.
down
Mhm.
fried
Yeah.
chicken, whatever they had. And I think they
Yeah.
only had one thing a day. Like I think
Okay.
they had like,
Like a
a
special?
I think,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they may have some things that you could get all the time, but for the main part, most people are coming in and like, hey, what they'd be on
What's
chalkboard
today's
what you had
special?
today.
Yeah.
And regulars had their own coffee cups hanging up. They
Oh,
That's awesome.
with their names on
Cool.
on,
Oh,
on
that's
the
great.
hook. So
That's
Wow.
it was. I used to go there with Dave Cosby, man. I love Dave
Okay.
Cosby. He was such a good old guy. He passed away, but man, he was a fantastic dude. I really, really, really loved working with that guy, man.
Wasn't
I
there
miss
a
him.
barbecue place over off of by Garvin Park.
Yeah.
There's
that's-
actually a lot over
been
there.
that way
Oh, there
in a
was.
while.
And I
That
want to
was
say
like
it
a
like
brick
has like a
building.
railroad crossing sign outside. Am I?
Yes,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
right
Yes,
there.
there
is
My
one
Aunt
out there.
Margie
That's
worked
not
there.
Yeah.
too far from the
She-
ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she went there. I mean, that's where she worked.
It's right. It's right by the ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything's down there.
Yeah.
Speaking of League of Their Own, that's where they filmed that. Bossy Field.
Oh,
it's right by
yeah,
Bossy
right
Fields.
by
where it is.
Bossy
I say
Field,
Garvin Park. It's Bossy,
Bossy
Field,
Field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is right there. Man, there's always wildness going on down there
Oh,
now, though.
man.
If you watch,
I know. I used to take Matthew to that park when he was
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
a lot. 'cause
man,
I
if you
love that
if you
park.
if you watch Evansville Watch,
I've
if you
been out
follow
there
Evansville Watch,
forever.
every day there's something popping off down
Oh.
there.
Down there.
Yeah, in Garvin area. So-
Mikey's been down there playing basketball before, and first time he ever went down there, someone took their like long pants off because they were getting hot, and a gun fell off it. I'm not kidding. And I was like,
Oh, no.
and then he was like,
Packing.
one of the guys was like, dude, you were playing with that in your pants? Just put them to the side. They were
Oh
mad.
my
about it.
goodness.
I'll never forget.
you can't just put
Balling.
can't just put your gun down.
No.
while you're playing ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Oh, man.
ladies, it's been fun. I'm glad you guys came on with us. And
Are you cutting us
well,
off? I
thanks for
didn't know we were
having-
going to just be cut off. What,
Yeah,
we
oh,
had
yeah.
more to say.
You got more to say?
What
What is it?
Sarah.
All right. It's
Sarah
all
just
you.
wanted to hit
No, I
somebody.
don't
You're
got
on.
more
You
to
got
say.
look. You got the Zoom. You got
I
the
got the
screen. What you
Zoom.
got to say?
No, I don't got more to
I'm
say.
just playing with you. You can talk all you
She's
want.
always got
We
more
don't
to
have to
say.
end it.
I always got
I
more
just
to
noticed.
say.
I just noticed we're an hour and a half in. So
Is it an hour and a half?
so
Already?
we can go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man.
it goes really quick.
Wow.
I know the long form. Sam's going to get on me. He tells me all the time, don't worry about it. And I'm
Yeah.
not worried about it. If we
Yeah.
go 5 more hours, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, I just wanted people to get a chance to meet you guys because we talk about you so much. And so
Yes.
I'm not surprised that you
How great we are.
did something dumb and violent.
That was
Sarah, that's
You're
your,
welcome.
I want to make it clear that that's his wife. That's Jimmy's
that
wife.
is my wife.
The one in the green shirt is his wife.
I will claim her.
She's,
But I'm
Sometimes
proud-
people
see,
at
you
church
know-
don't know. Do
No,
they?
that's right. I'm proud that you didn't actually use the punching.
Okay,
or
you're
Hey, listen to me.
You're welcome.
boxing glove.
She had every intention of doing it.
She did, didn't she?
Oh, I considered
That's why she
it.
kept it on so long.
Dude.
I considered it.
Yeah.
We're
You know what?
being honest.
No, I don't
Wait
know.
till the cameras go away.
No, well, that's the problem. Maybe we should stay recording
Yeah, maybe we should stay.
because
They're
we have no
scared.
idea what's going to happen after we cut this
That's true.
out.
But here's the good news. We're going to have a whole lot of people that are going to be witnesses to what happened prior.
Now when we shut that camera
That's right.
off.
They're going to know.
Yeah,
They're going to know the threat was made
right.
and that was there.
that's right.
Well, everybody listen.
All right.
Like I said, one last time, I'll mention it. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to see more, listen, we got some really good episodes coming up. Got some really cool guests that we got planned coming on. We'll be making announcements. Watch for the YouTube shorts. We'll make announcements on that. You can also check us out on X, on Facebook, on what else are we on? We're on Instagram.
TikTok.
We're on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yep. And YouTube, Spotify. There
Be
is
famous.
there is no way
Yes.
that, listen, your excuse shouldn't be that you couldn't find the DeTalented Podcast. If you ain't watching it, it's because you're choosing not to. What is wrong with you? Watch it. We can't wait to see you. But before we do, Jimmy, let's send them out.
Well, bye.